Chapter 176. Miscalculated? Are you kidding? Majin Buu grinned, this is in my body. I am in my own body and will never be affected by your weird power. In other words, you can't kill me at all. But I can wear you out to death. Sun Wufei stroked his chin and pondered, what you said makes sense, but... Sun Gofei grabbed the tumor that was wrapped around Fat Buu, what if I pull this guy down? Majin Buu's expression suddenly changed, no. Don't touch it. No. You are not allowed to touch it. Let go. Majin Buu was so anxious that he stretched out his hands and shouted, you can do whatever you want. But you must not tear it off, otherwise I will no longer be myself. Of course you are not yourself. Without him, you will become the original Kid Buu. Sun Wufei's mouth curled up into a sinister smile, but this is what I want. Snap. With a sudden force on his hands, Sun Wufei pulled Fat Buu down before Majin Buu rushed over, and flew up holding the broken tumor. Goku, let's go. Get out. Oh. Majin Buu fell to the ground halfway through the charge, his body began to melt and merged back into the inner wall of the ground. At the same time, Majin Buu, who had been standing still in the outside world, also underwent changes. His whole body began to tremble. Oh, ah. He screamed madly, covered his head, and his body began to change violently. Sun Gofei with Fat Buu, Sun Goku with Sun Gohan, finally found the exit, which was the hole on Majin Buu's forehead. They took the opportunity to eject the air and rushed out. As soon as it rushed out of Majin Buu's body, its body quickly expanded and returned to its original shape, and the tumors wrapped around Sun Gohan and Fat Buu were also burst. Sun Goku hugged Sun Gohan, and Sun Gohan grabbed the tentacles on Fat Buu's head and landed on the ground. At this time, Majin Buu continued to change and turned into South King Kai Buu form. He was muscular and his strength increased a lot compared to before. But he did not stay in this form for long, but continued to change, and eventually turned into the original Kid Buu. Be careful. Majin Buu in this state has no rationality at all and only knows how to destroy. Sun Gofei's face darkened. Although he is not the strongest, he has infinite stamina and stronger recovery ability than other Buu. He is very difficult to deal with. Difficult? Sun Goku raised his eyebrows. Brother, whether it's you or me, we can kill him, right? While he was speaking, Kid Buu had already shot a gas bullet directly towards the ground. The terrifying destructive power contained in it is enough to explode the entire Earth into dust in the universe. Call out. Fortunately, Sun Wufei was prepared and sent out a key blast, causing the key bomb to explode in the air. This guy really wants to destroy the Earth. Sun Goku shouted at Majin Buu, it's up to you to sabotage us, but do you dare to fight us first? Don't waste your energy. That guy has no rationality at all and won't be provoked. Sun Gohan shook his head, instant transmission to the ground, grabbed Fat Buu and Sun Gohan, prepare to teleport, take him to the Supreme Kai realm. Supreme Kai world. Sun Goku was stunned, isn't that a holy place? It's the Holy Land. Only the Holy Land can withstand the destructive power of the war, otherwise any planet will be destroyed instantly by this guy. We can block it once, but not the second time. While speaking, Majin Buu had already raised his hand high. Another super shattering bomb. If it hits, the Earth will not be spared. Swish. Instant transmission was activated. Sun Gofei came behind Majin Buu, put his hand on his back, activated instant transmission again, and teleported towards the Supreme Kai world. Brother, wait for me. Sun Goku also followed instant transmission to the Supreme Kai realm. Supreme Kai world. Excuse me. Grandpa Supreme Kai, this is the only place that can withstand the power of the war, so I had to bring him here. Sun Wufei showed up and kicked Majin Buu into the mountain in the distance, destroying the super shattering bomb, then smiled apologetically at the old Supreme Kai and others. UBD. Old Supreme Kai's face turned green, but he quickly controlled his emotions. Although Sun Wufei's action was reckless, it was indeed the best approach at the moment. Aside from the Holy Land Supreme Kai, there is really no place in the entire 7th universe that Majin Buu's power cannot destroy in one go. Grandpa Supreme Kai, Lord Supreme Kai, please take everyone to Namek, as far away from here as possible, I want to completely destroy this guy here. God Jebbit nodded, and without delay, he teleported Bulma and the others away to Namek. Besides Son Goku, the only ones left were Vegeta and the unconscious Fat Buu. Castle, you said you came from another parallel universe. This is not your universe. We should be the ones to protect the safety here. Vegeta clenched his fists. This guy actually dared to absorb me before. I must kill him with my own hands. Vegeta's words sounded reasonable and there was nothing wrong with them. Sun Goku didn't know how to refute them. After scratching his head, Sun Wufei spread his hands and said, Vegeta, Majin Buu is now in the most primitive Kid Buu state, with unlimited physical strength and strong recovery ability. In terms of strength, I'm afraid he is not worse than you. Even if you can defeat him, it is unlikely to destroy him. Is it possible? We'll have to fight to find out. Vegeta snorted coldly, rushed towards Majin Buu who rushed out of the mountain, and started fighting directly. Sun Wufei was speechless and shook his head helplessly. Never mind. If Vegeta wants to fight, let him fight first. If he can't handle it, I'll go in later. Ignoring the fight between Vegeta and Kid Buu, Sun Goku landed on the ground and patted Fat Buu's face. Hey, Buu, wake up. Wow, brother, what are you doing? Sun Goku screamed, are you trying to wake him up? Yes. Sun Wufei nodded calmly, curling his lips, don't worry, this Fat Buu is different from that Kid Buu. That guy is pure evil, while this one is pure and innocent. There is no evil at all, so there is nothing to worry about. Chapter 177. Well, where is this place? Sun Goku still woke up Fat Buu. Fat Buu woke up and looked around, his eyes fell on Sun Goku. I remember you. You are the guy who wanted to bet with me and give me delicious food. Your name is Sun Goku. Hey, Buu, it's rare that you still remember me. Sun Goku laughed. He thought Fat Buu only remembered Satan. This is the Supreme Kai world. Never mind, you won't understand even if I tell you. Anyway, I was the one who saved you from that guy's body. Sun Goku pointed at Majin Buu who was in a fierce battle with Vegeta. Just as Sun Goku said, the strength of this original Kid Buu is not weaker than Big Buu, and is even stronger. Coupled with his infinite physical strength and incredible recovery ability, Vegeta did not have much advantage in the fight with him. Every time I hurt this guy, he recovers immediately. Very difficult. He is, me. Fat Buu looked at Kid Buu in the distance with a confused look on his face. Yes, but no. Sun Goku laughed, you are Buu, he is Majin Buu, you are kind and cute, he is evil. 487 You are two different individuals, strictly speaking, you can't be considered one person. I'm cute? Really? Fat Buu obviously liked hearing the compliments and a happy smile appeared on his face. Certainly. Sun Wufei nodded without hesitation. He was not lying to Fat Buu. This guy was innocent, had unlimited potential, and was very strong. He wanted to recruit him as his younger brother. Well, work harder and praise him more. We can't let Satan get the upper hand. Here, Sun Goku was chatting with Fat Buu, and even took out the only delicious food for Fat Buu. Over there, the battle between Vegeta and Majin Buu had entered a white-hot state. Damn it! Why is this guy so difficult to deal with? Seeing that the damage caused by his attack to Majin Buu was easily recovered by him, Vegeta gritted his teeth in anger. This guy seems to be much harder to deal with than the previous Big Buu. The recovery ability has been greatly enhanced. Besides, wouldn't he be tired? My brother said that this is Majin Buu's most primitive state, with unlimited physical strength and the strongest recovery ability. Kfi, Son Goku flew to Vegeta's side. Vegeta, how about we fuse together? After fusion, we can definitely destroy him completely in one fell swoop, and he will never be able to recover. Son Goku also saw that the current Kid Buu's fighting ability was not as good as Vegeta's, let alone his, but it would not be so easy for them to destroy Kid Buu. Without overwhelming crushing force, it is impossible to defeat the opponent without leaving a single cell. Impossible. I will never merge with you. Vegeta gritted his teeth and refused outright, but he couldn't refute Son Goku's words. With his strength, he could suppress Kid Buu, but it was not enough to completely destroy him. Another blow sent Kid Buu flying into the mountain. Vegeta frowned and thought for a moment, then made a decision. Kakarot, use the spirit bomb. Let Supreme Kai and the others borrow Namex Dragon Ball to revive the killed Earthlings, and then collect energy from them. If we collect the energy of all the people on Earth and make a spirit bomb, it should be enough to destroy this guy completely without leaving any traces. Good idea. Son Goku, who was watching from the sidelines, also heard what Vegeta said and nodded, but Vegeta, Namex Shenron has already been used once before. One of the wishes was used to revive Goku. It will take 33 days to use it again. Earth's Dragon Ball will also take 4 months. I'm afraid your plan won't work. Ah! Vegeta was dumbfounded by Son Goku's words. Is there such a thing? It seems that this is really the case. Damn it, how could I forget about this? What now? Vegeta was a little anxious, this guy is so hard to kill. Let me do it. My power has a restraining effect on his recovery ability. I should be able to kill him. Son Goku flew from a distance to Vegeta's side. Fat Buu and I have a promise, if I can defeat him, he will be my little brother and follow me from now on. Now Majin Buu's power is obviously above Fat Buu. I have already made an agreement with Fat Buu that as long as I kill Majin Buu, I will win the bet. Vegeta and Son Goku looked at each other, both speechless. Take Majin Buu as your younger brother? Only Son Goku could think of such a thing. Okay, it looks like this is the only way. Castle, don't let me down. Finally, Vegeta nodded in agreement. Brother, when this is over, you have to tell me how you managed to train to this level. Son Goku also nodded in agreement, but put forward conditions. No problem. Son Goku smiled and extended his right hand to make a thumbs-up gesture towards Son Goku and Vegeta. The next moment, the figure suddenly flashed and disappeared. At the same time, a gas bullet rushed from the direction where Son Goku was standing before. It was fired by Majin Buu. Swish! Son Goku appeared behind Majin Buu and hit Majin Buu hard on the side of his face. Son Goku's fist was shrouded in strong power of thunder and fire, and this punch directly deformed half of Majin Buu's face. The power of thunder and fire spread along the fist into Majin Buu's body, causing Majin Buu to scream in pain. Hey! Kakarot, did you notice? Majin Buu's recovery speed has slowed down. Vegeta, who was watching the battle from a distance, keenly noticed the change, and a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. Yeah, that's true. Son Goku nodded, when my brother and I merged, the attacks we launched seemed to have this kind of power. Son Goku began to recall that when he merged with Son Goku before, he had felt the power of the law of thunder and fire and the power of the law of time, but it was not very clear. It was a kind of power he had never felt before, and it was completely different from the chi he practiced. I really don't know how Son Goku trained. After this matter is over, I must ask carefully. Call. Continuous attacks, the power of thunder and fire constantly bombarded Majin Buu, blocking Majin Buu's rapid recovery. Son Goku has already gone into full force, and in addition to stopping time, he has mobilized all the strength in his body. This battle has dragged on long enough, it's time to end it. The underworld, inside and outside the Yama Palace. King Yama and various martial artists are all focused on this battle, and the kings of the 7th universe are also watching. Chapter 178. Good job, Son Goku. That's it. Beat him up hard. Kill Majin Buu. King Yama was dancing and clapping the huge TV set, laughing. While laughing, he scratched his head in surprise. By the way, this guy doesn't seem to be from this universe. I can't even find his name. Who cares? As long as we can destroy that rubbish Majin Buu, that's enough. The martial artists in the underworld watched the fight with extremely shocked expressions on their faces. How amazing! I didn't expect there are such amazing people. He was able to suppress Majin Buu, so strong. What kind of energy is that can even suppress Majin Buu's recovery ability? Now Majin Buu should be destroyed. In the underworld, Zilu, Frieza, and others were stunned. I never thought there would be someone stronger than me in this world. Zilu's eye twitched, besides, he looks exactly like that guy Son Goku. Son Goku, the guy I hate the most. He actually has such a strong brother. Damn it. Frieza's eyes were throbbing with veins. Among all the villains, only Babidi is the happiest. That BD Buu actually killed me. Damn it. Now it's your turn, right? Come on, Son Goku. Babidi walked into the darkness and shouted. On Namek, the old Supreme Kai and others were also watching the duel, along with a group of Namek people. I never thought that Son Goku really has the ability to kill Majin Buu. Now I can finally rest assured. The old Supreme Kai breathed a sigh of relief. At this point in the battle, the outcome is very clear. Majin Buu is completely suppressed, and even his recovery ability is getting weaker and weaker. Sun Wufei showed no mercy when he attacked, and continuously injected the power of the thunder and fire laws into Majin Buu's body, eroding Majin Buu's body bit by bit. Once it accumulates to a certain level, Majin Buu's recovery ability will completely fail. To be honest, before this, the old Supreme Kai never thought that he couldn't use this method to restrain Majin Buu. However, no one has ever been able to combine the power of the thunder law and the power of the fire law at the same time. Sun Wufei has taught everyone a good lesson. Supreme Kai World. Majin Buu was hit hard one after another and recovered more and more slowly. This original Kid Buu state does have unlimited stamina, but unlimited stamina doesn't mean he won't get hurt. The wound healing speed slowed down, which directly led to the continuous decline of his combat effectiveness. His entire body was now covered with scars, and he no longer had the ability to instantly recover. It's about time. The power of thunder and fire in Sun Wufei's hands surged, forming a thunder and fire cage, which suddenly enveloped Majin Buu and pushed him into the sky. Majin Buu, you are indeed a tough opponent. I thought that since I knew everything, I would be able to easily defeat you. I didn't expect that after spending so much effort, I almost fell into your hands. You have enough to be proud of. Sun Wufei's hands were combined into a calyx shape and placed on the right side of his waist. Powerful energy gathered in the palms of his hands. Not only chi, but also the power of the laws of thunder and fire, and even the power of the law of time. Take it. Final, Kamehameha wave, boom. A huge ki blast shining with lightning and fire rushed out from Sun Goku's hands and hit Majin Buu with a long tail. At this moment, Majin Buu actually broke free from the lightning and fire cage and was about to dodge. But the Kamehameha wave seemed to have traveled through time and space, it suddenly disappeared, and the next moment, it had hit Majin Buu hard. Majin Buu let out an earth-shattering scream, trying his best to resist the impact of the Kamehameha wave. However, this was the final Kamehameha wave that condensed all of Sun Wufei's strength, and even included all the laws and divine powers he had comprehended. Majin Buu, unstoppable. Shattered. The body keeps breaking into pieces. Shattered into its original atomic form, completely destroyed. Majin Buu's body was completely annihilated in the final Kamehameha, not a single cell was left. The blinding light enveloped the entire Supreme Kai world. The indestructible Supreme Kai world was also shattered in two by this final Kamehameha wave. It's over. Sun Wufei's whole body relaxed, all his strength was drained, and at this moment he was so tired that he just wanted to have a good sleep. Please give me flowers. Falling to the ground, Sun Wufei closed his eyes. It was time to have a good rest. Elder brother. Son Goku was shocked and flew over to him. After checking him, he breathed a sigh of relief and said, "It's okay. He just fell asleep due to exhaustion. This guy is such a scary guy." Vegeta also flew over, looking through the Supreme Kai world that was cut in half, and sighed. Majin Buu's aura was completely gone and no longer existed. This war that concerns the survival of the entire universe has finally come to an end. Boss. Fat Buu flew up and landed next to Son Goku. Zero Vegeta was suddenly shocked, there is another Majin Buu. As he said this, he took a fighting stance, but was stopped by Son Goku. Vegeta, wait. Brother said that this Fat Buu is different from Majin Buu, he is innocent and simple, without any evil thoughts. I think he is here to help. Help? Vegeta looked at Fat Buu doubtfully. How could this guy help? Fat Buu placed his hands on Sun Goku's body and began to get up with a gleam. Sun Wufei, who was in a coma, suddenly felt a strange energy surging from his body. His originally exhausted strength was quickly restored and he regained vitality. He suddenly opened his eyes and saw Fat Buu's smiling face. Boss, you're awake. What did you call me? Sun Wufei was a little confused. Boss. We made a bet. If you kill that bad guy and win, you will be the boss. Fat Buu said seriously. Ha. Yes. Sun Wufei laughed. He didn't expect that Fat Buu, who looked stupid, was actually quite smart. And he's quite trustworthy. It's worth all the effort I put into killing Majin Buu. Standing up, Sun Gofei patted Majin Buu on the shoulder and said, "Buu, follow me from now on. I promise you will have endless delicious food, fun things to do, ha ha ha." Fat Buu, really? Son Goku, ____ de Vegeta. Chapter 179. Because Namek Shenron was used once before to make a wish to revive Son Goku, Namek's Dragon Ball is temporarily unusable and you have to wait another 30 days. The Dragon Ball on Earth will have to wait even longer, nearly 4 months. There was no choice but to wait patiently in Namek for 30 days. Finally, Namek's Dragon Ball has been restored. 3 wishes, one is to revive all the people who died after Majin Buu appeared, except the bad guys. The second one is to completely restore the planets destroyed after Majin Buu appeared, including the Earth and the Supreme Kai realm. The third one is to separate Supreme Kai Shin and his servant Jupiter, who were united by Batra's earrings. All 3 wishes came true, the world returned to peace, and Son Goku and Bulma returned to Earth. National television, in front of the camera. 557. Do you really want to tell me? Satan looked at Sun Wufei reluctantly, with a pleading look on his face. Say it. Of course I will. Sun Wufei nodded. Satan, don't forget that it wasn't you who defeated Zillo and Majin Buu. It's great that you can share a share of this glory. Do you still want to take it all for yourself? Majin Buu was defeated, but the people on Earth did not know that it was Sun Gofei and others who defeated Majin Buu, and they attributed all the credit to Satan. Because Videl and Son Gohan were going to get married, Son Gohan did not expose Satan directly, but made a request, asking Satan to thoroughly introduce Son Goku, Vegeta and other Dragon Ball fighters to the world as cooperative heroes. Defeating Majin Buu was not the work of one person, but the result of their unity and cooperation. Brother, why don't you just forget it? We don't care about this kind of false reputation anyway, Son Goku advised. Satan and he are about to become relatives, and Son Goku doesn't have the heart to force Satan. Goku, stay out of this. Sun Wufei insisted, if you have given, you should let others know. This is the most basic respect for the giver. I didn't ask Satan to admit that he was lying, I just asked him to introduce you to the world. If the world encounters a crisis again in the future and Goku needs to use Spirit Bomb to destroy the enemy, at least the people on Earth will not be indifferent because of suspicion. But Son Goku wanted to persuade him again, but was stopped by Vegeta. Kakarot, Castle is right. Although the Spirit Bomb was not used to eliminate Majin Buu this time, it was because the Dragon Ball had been used before and the timing was wrong. Otherwise, we might have had to borrow the power of all the people on Earth. Vegeta said in a deep voice, Castle is not from our world. He can't stay here forever. He will leave sooner or later. When the time comes, we can only rely on ourselves without his help. Just do as he says. Son Goku. Even Vegeta said so. Son Goku was powerless to refute and could only sigh and agree. In this way, Satan introduced Son Goku, Vegeta and other Dragon Ball fighters to the world, explaining that Majin Buu was not defeated by him alone, but it was Son Goku, Vegeta and others who worked together to finally destroy Majin Buu. The names of the Dragon Ball heroes appeared in front of everyone for the first time. Then it's time for me to say goodbye and return to my own universe. After attending Son Gohan and Videl's wedding, Son Gohan decided to leave the Dragon Ball main universe and return to his own Dragon main universe with his little brother Fat Buu. Son Goku and Vegeta were not happy. Brother, you said you would discuss the secrets of cultivation with me, why don't you keep your word? Castle, you haven't told me how you developed the power to restrain Majin Buu. You can't just leave like that. Sun Wufei is helpless. What can he say when he meets Son Goku and Vegeta, 2 martial arts fanatics from the fighting nation and typical warmongers? I had no choice but to stay patiently and taught the 2 of them the basics of temper attribute transformation. At the same time, it also helped the 2 of them improve their potential. Anyway, in this Dragon Ball main universe, when the super plot period comes, only the 2 of them can fight, and it would be a waste to give it to others. Especially Son Gohan. Although he is so good at fighting in the current Z plot, he became lax and regressed in the later part, and then became a Nobita fan. Helping him to improve his potential value is absolutely a waste of energy. After staying for a full year, Son Goku and Vegeta finally agreed to let Son Gofei leave. Castle, which parallel universe are you from? Son Gofei and Fat Buu have already entered the time machine. Vegeta suddenly asked, 0646044223 Falcon 1043002990 what? Are you trying to come to my world to find me? Sun Mufi frowned, feeling that this matter was not simple. Why not? You can come to our world, so why can't we go to your world to find you? Vegeta snorted, when Kakarot and I become powerful enough, we will definitely go to your world to find you. I want to have a good fight with you. What the hell? Sun Mufi's mind was filled with 1,000 horses galloping through his chest. Was he going to be blackmailed by these two guys again? After some bargaining, he finally had to leave the space-time coordinates of his world to Vegeta. Then, he started the time machine as if escaping. Before leaving, he left a message, Vegeta, I forgot to tell you that you also exist in the Dragon Ball universe where I am, and that Vegeta is stronger than you. If you want to come find me, you must first train yourself to be strong enough. This BD, he makes things difficult for me before leaving. Vegeta cursed while gritting his teeth. The Dragon Ball universe where Son Goku resides. Swish! In a burst of strong light, the time machine appeared above the huge courtyard square of Bulma's home in the West Capital Universal Capsule Company. The powerful fluctuations in time and space alarmed many people, and the first to arrive were Son Goku and Vegeta. And Son Gohan. Unlike Son Gohan in the main Dragon Ball universe, Son Gohan in this time and space was not forced to study by his mother. On the contrary, TIES 2.9 respected the child's choice and thought it would be a good thing to let Son Gohan become an outstanding martial artist like his father Son Goku. So Son Gohan here has developed his talent particularly well, and has caught up with Son Goku and Vegeta, and is only slightly behind the two. It's a time machine. Uncle is back. As Son Gohan shouted in surprise, everyone rushed out from all directions. Bulma, number 18, Sunbula, Krillin, Lankai, Marin, Oolong and Pool. Snap! The hatch opened, and Sun Mufi flew out, waving to everyone and saying hello, hello everyone. You're so stupid. You've been gone for more than 3 years. Didn't I tell you that you must come back within a year? Chapter 180. 3 years? Bulma, you mean it's been 3 years? Bulma's words stunned Son Goku. He had clearly only been in the main Dragon Ball universe for 1 year, so how come 3 years had passed in this parallel universe? This is unscientific. Could it be that I was affected by the time turbulence when I traveled through time and space? Scratching his head, Sun Mufi couldn't figure out what was going on. With his current level of comprehension of the laws of time, he was not yet able to fully understand the matter. Well, Bulma, listen to me. Sun Mufi wanted to explain, but 18 reached behind him and pulled out a little boy. He pointed at him with a gentle smile and said, Godin, you've been asking for your dad, haven't you? That's your dad, why don't you go over there, Dad? Is that my son? Sun Mufi was stunned. Could it be that number 18 was pregnant when he left? Gave him a son? Oh my god! This is a big deal. If he had known that number 18 was pregnant, he would never have left. Well, it is indeed my son. He looks exactly like me when I was a child. Sun Mufi came to the little boy and held his shoulders with his big hands. This little guy really looks like him. What's your name? Godin, I shout Sun Godin. Sun Godin? Sun Goku had a weird look on his face. Sun Godin from the main Dragon Ball universe was the child of his younger brother Son Goku, but now he has become his son. This is really... I don't know what to say. Are you the father that Mom said is more powerful than Uncle Goku? Son Goku looked at Son Goku with a look of doubt. He was only 3 years old but his aura was much stronger than both Son Gohan and Son Bula had been. Sun Mufi called up Sun Godin's light curtain pattern and took a look. Sure enough, this kid's potential value was directly at the purple epic limit. Scion, the initial potential value of each generation is really higher than the previous one. That's right. I'm your father, the most powerful Scion. Reaching out and touching Sun Godin's head, Sun Godin showed a confident smile. Brother, what you said is not quite right. Son Goku grinned, you were better than me before, but I have been working hard on my training for the past 3 years. I have surpassed you again based on Super Saiyan 2. I am not necessarily worse than you. Vegeta on the side also smirked, that's right, Castle. I've improved a lot just like Kakarot, and I've already mastered the special power you taught me before you left. If we fight again, I won't necessarily lose to you. Hey? So confident? Son Goku was a little surprised, and took a look at the potential value patterns of Son Goku and Vegeta. Not to mention Son Goku, Vegeta has even reached the limit of the orange legendary level. Except for the lack of stamina, in terms of potential, he has completely caught up with him and Son Goku. That's amazing. Sun Wufei laughed and said, let's find a place later so I can take a good look at the results of your training. After a pause, Sun Wufei pointed to the time machine and said, first, let me introduce you to a friend, my new little brother, Kun Ou. Bu, come out and say hello to everyone. Following Sun Wufei's voice, Fat Bu came out of the time machine and waved to everyone in a naive manner. Wow! So cute! Sun Goten's eyes were immediately filled with love, and the same was true for Sun Bula beside him. Although she had almost grown into a young girl, her nature of liking cute things was still evident. Hello! Looking at Sun Goten and Sun Bula who were surrounding him and touching him curiously, Fat Bu did not have any resentment at all, but seemed very happy instead. Before he came, the boss told him that the new world was different from the original one. Although some people looked the same and had the same name, they were not the same person, and everyone would like him. Now it seems that the boss did not lie to him. Brother, where did you bring this strange fat guy from? I feel like he seems to have a very powerful power hidden inside him. Son Goku approached Son Gofei and asked in a low voice. Well, I'll explain this to you in detail later. Sun Wufei laughed, is there any food? I'm starving. Bulma rolled her eyes at Sun Wufei in anger and amusement, but her eyes were full of doting. Yes, yes, yes. Always ready. You scions, each of you is like a starving ghost. 89, Son Goku, Vegeta, Tisk. Son Gohan, Son Goten, Abra, hee. The news of Sun Wufei's return quickly spread to all his friends, and soon everyone came one after another. Bulma simply held a grand party and took everyone out to sea to celebrate on the Universal Capsule Company's cruise ship. Really? Is this guy so powerful? After listening to Son Goku's story about his trip to the Dragon Ball main universe, Son Goku looked at Fat Bu in surprise. No wonder I felt that he had a very strong power in his body. It turns out he is really that strong. Humph. He's just a fat guy. Vegeta snorted coldly. Fat Bu frowned unhappily when he heard this. Boss, he said I was a fat guy, can I beat him up like I did before? What did you say? Vegeta glared, say that again. Vegeta, you in the main universe were indeed beaten badly by Majin Buu, but you shouldn't lose to Buu now in 720. I can feel that the hidden aura on you has become much more fishy. Sun Wufei hurriedly stopped it. This meaningless fight was not necessary at all, although he also wanted to see what level Vegeta had reached now. Brother, let's go to King Kai's planet. I'll show you my current strength. Son Goku suddenly stood up, grabbed Son Gofei's hand, activated instant transmission, and teleported with Son Gofei to King Kai's planet. Snort. Vegeta snorted coldly and followed. These three guys. They said they were here to have a party, but now they're running away. Bulma muttered in annoyance, then put on a smile again, looked at Fat Bu and said, Bu, don't be offended, this is the character of Science. What's so strange? Is it delicious? Fat Bu looked cute. Bulma was stunned for a moment, and placed a large piece of cake next to Fat Bu. Anyway, we just need to eat and drink well, they will come back naturally soon. Fat Bu put a piece of cake into his mouth, and the next moment, he smiled widely, delicious. The delicious food on the table was instantly reduced at a speed visible to the naked eye. King Kai Star. Brother, look carefully, this is the result of my practice. Chapter 181. Son Goku shouted and turned into a third stage Super Saiyan, and it was a third stage Super Evolution. How about it, brother? I'm in great shape now, right? Son Goku's face was full of pride. I can also change this state. Vegeta said, and with a roar, his energy suddenly expanded, and he also turned into the third stage of the legendary Super Evolution version. Vegeta, can you transform into super form? Sun Wufei was greatly surprised. He was not surprised that Son Goku's strength could be improved to such a level. After all, Son Goku in this world was influenced by him and had a much higher starting point than Son Goku in the main Dragon Ball universe. Moreover, it is not uncommon for him to already have his own super transformation, so upgrading to the third stage of super evolution ahead of time is not surprising. But Vegeta is different. Son Goku remembered that when he left, Vegeta was clearly far inferior to Son Goku. In just 3 years, the surrounding towers have caught up. That's nothing. I've already said that if you can achieve it, I can achieve it too. Vegeta snorted lightly, looking defiant. Sun Wufei smiled. It seemed that Vegeta's training in the past 3 years was not in vain. His strength improvement speed was amazing. You two, come on together. Let me see your true strength. Sun Wufei's eyes focused, and he suddenly burst into energy, entering a state of full potential. This is a special state after the old Supreme Kai from the main Dragon Ball universe helped him develop his potential. At present, it is even stronger than the third stage of the legendary Super Evolution version. This is considered Sun Wufei's strongest transformation. Moreover, this move is almost invisible in appearance, and does not consume any extra energy. It can be regarded as the strongest transformation move at present. Kaisel, you're actually fighting us in your normal state. Aren't you underestimating us? Vegeta's face darkened. He has gotten used to being behind Sun Wufei and Son Goku in strength, but he has never admitted defeat and has never stopped chasing. What he couldn't stand the most was being looked down upon. When he was under Frieza, it was because Frieza looked down on him and regarded Sion as a low-level wild monkey that he was determined to surpass Frieza and kill Frieza. Later, he met the brothers Son Goku and Sun Wufei. Along the way, he was rescued and helped by the brothers many times, especially Son Goku. Although Vegeta has always wanted to catch up with Sun Wufei and Son Goku, deep down he still respects the two brothers. After Sun Wufei taught him the basics of Chi property transformation, he treated Sun Wufei as his close friend. But now Sun Wufei actually looked down on him. Without even changing his transformation, he had to take the attacks from both him and Son Goku at the same time. Too arrogant. Normal? Hey! Vegeta, who told you this is normal? If you don't attack me, I will. Sun Wufei's lips curled up into a sly smile. The next moment, his figure suddenly disappeared, and he rushed in front of Vegeta in an instant, and knocked Vegeta out with an elbow. Vegeta! Son Goku yelled and punched Son Goku. Above the fist, there was a faint bluish-white light, which was the divine power of the wind attribute law. Goku has made great progress. Sun Wufei praised in his heart, and his men did not hesitate at all. They caught Son Goku's fist, pulled and guided, activated the power of lightning and fire attributes, suppressed Son Goku's power of wind attribute, and kicked Son Goku in the stomach, kicking him out. Hehe. What do you think? Do you still think that this is just normal for me? Sun Wufei did not continue to attack. He stood where he was, grinning evilly. So strong. Son Goku and Vegeta looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. An expert can tell the difference with just one move. Although it was only a brief fight, they already felt the gap between them and Sun Wufei. In a one-on-one fight, Son Goku might be able to fight against Son Goku, but Vegeta will definitely be suppressed. Could this be what you were talking about, Castle, the state after that old Supreme Kai developed your potential? That's right. Sun Wufei nodded. I call this state the state of full potential. This is a special state. It looks similar to normal, but there are some subtle changes. Sun Wufei said, and he lifted his full potential state and returned to normal. See, normally, my hair looks like this. The next moment, the potential is fully unlocked. When the potential is fully unleashed, it's like this. The bangs have changed, and the key is the energy. Well, brother's aura in this state is silvery white. Son Goku said thoughtfully. That's right. Sun Wufei nodded. This state is the same as normal, there is basically no energy consumption, it can be said to be the most suitable state for fighting. After a pause, he added, is also my strongest state now. Son Goku and Vegeta looked at each other, both a little frustrated. I originally thought that after 3 years of hard training, I should be able to catch up with Sun Wufei, but I didn't expect that the gap still exists. Moreover, Sun Wufei's current state of full potential is obviously much stronger than their third stage Super Evolution version. Seeing Son Goku and Vegeta looking a little frustrated, Son Goku smiled and said, okay, you are just temporarily behind. Besides, I didn't cultivate this state of full potential. I achieved it with the help of the old Supreme Kai. Wait another 2 years until our world's Majin Buu appears. Then you'll have an excuse to go to the Supreme Kai world. After you rescue the old Supreme Kai from the Supreme Kai sword, you can also let him help you develop your potential. Can't we go to that Supreme Kai world now? Son Goku asked, scratching his head. Now? In what name should we go? Son Goku rolled his eyes, the Supreme Kai of this world doesn't even know us. Besides, Majin Buu hasn't appeared yet, and the crisis hasn't come yet. With the condescending attitude of Jebit beside the Supreme Kai, will he allow us to enter the Supreme Kai world? Not to mention touching the Supreme Kai sword. Vegeta was speechless. He looked quite unwilling. Does he have to wait another 2 years? Haven't they been lagging behind Sun Wukong for the past 2 years? Hateful. Forget it, Vegeta. Brother is right, now is not the right time, we should just be patient. Son Goku was more open-minded and laughed, anyway, that old Supreme Kai is helping us develop our potential. The greater our potential is, the more powerful we will be after developing it, right? In the next 2 years, let's practice hard and strive to reach a higher level. Chapter 182. Time flies by like a white horse, and 2 years have passed in a flash. In the past 2 years, Son Goku has returned to his normal life. He goes to King Kai's planet to train with Son Goku and Vegeta every day, and spends 2 hours with his wife, son, and daughter without fail. The only extra item is to compete with Fat Buu, and at the same time, teach Fat Buu some knowledge about how to behave in society. Boss, I'm already very powerful, why do I need to practice? Fat Buu expressed his incomprehension about Son Goku asking him to continue training. Son Goku explained, Buu, you are indeed very powerful now, but I know that you can be even more powerful after training. Look, boss, I'm already very strong now, right? Haven't I been practicing all the time? Only when we become stronger and reach a higher level can we go on adventures to more places, see more interesting things, and eat more delicious food. Do you understand? Well, but, there are so many delicious foods on Earth, why should we go somewhere else to eat? It's a good question. Sun Wukong was speechless for a moment. After frowning and thinking for a while, I came up with an idea. 437 Buu, think about it, if we don't work hard to become stronger, what if a powerful guy appears one day and wants to take away our food and drink, or even destroy the world, and we don't have the strength to stop him, wouldn't that be terrible? When that happens, we will have to watch our wonderful life vanish into thin air. Fat Buu nodded, not quite understanding, is there really such a powerful enemy? Of course. And it will appear in the near future. Don't you believe what the boss said? Sun Wukong glared. Okay, I'll believe it then. Fat Buu finally agreed to practice, but put forward a condition, but, I have to double the delicious food every day. Star. Just like that, after some persuasion from Son Goku, Fat Buu agreed to practice with Son Goku. Then, King Fi witnessed a perverted growth history. After just a little practice, Fat Buu's strength increased like a rocket, surpassing Son Goku and Vegeta. Even Son Goku was no match for Fat Buu when he didn't use the power of the law. Moreover, Fat Buu's body shape has also changed. In normal state, he is still that chubby and cute appearance, but once he gets serious, he will switch to a fighting posture and become a tall and thin Buu, his body covered with muscles. His strength and speed have increased several times, and his mind is much clearer than in normal state. If this guy keeps practicing like this, I'm afraid he will reach a terrifying level. Sun Wukong was extremely surprised at Fat Buu's training results, and tried his best to persuade Fat Buu to increase his training intensity, but was rejected. Boss, I am no weaker than you now. If you let me continue to practice, what if I become stronger than you? Wouldn't you be embarrassed? How about you become stronger first and then I will catch up with you? What he said made a lot of sense. Sun Wukong found himself speechless and could only smile bitterly. Speaking of which, after cultivating to this level, Sun Wukong is actually a little confused about the future direction of cultivation. I thought the Dragon Ball world branched out after the Majin Buu arc. One of them is the Dragon Ball Super plot development of the main universe. Above the third level of Super Saiyan is to become Super Saiyan God, that is, the Super Saiyan Red God state, and then further become Super Saiyan Blue, and develop the God level state of Ultra Instinct. The other is the plot of Dragon Ball GT, where after reaching Super Saiyan 3, he transforms into a golden great ape, and then controls his runaway sanity to reach the transformed state of Super Saiyan 4. The Dragon Ball universe where Son Goku is now is not the main Dragon Ball universe, so he can't really say whether it will follow the plot of Dragon Ball Super, or the plot of Dragon Ball GT in the future. Of course, Sun Wufei is very clear about the transformation methods of these two different development paths. But although it is clear, it is not so easy to do it. The transformation of Super Saiyan God requires 5 kind-hearted Saiyan warriors to gather the righteous heart power into another Saiyan. This heart power includes both the energy in the body and the mental power. But not all 6 kind-hearted Saiyans can do this. The basic condition is that the 5 Saiyans who transmit the power of the mind must have the ability to transform into Super Saiyan, or meet the transformation conditions. In other words, one must either be strong enough in training to transform into a Super Saiyan, or inherit enough S cells in the body to reduce the combat power limit of the Super Saiyan transformation, and meet the conditions for transformation at a very young age, even in the mother's womb. Only when the conditions are met and the power of the heart is concentrated on one of the Saiyans can he become a Super Saiyan God. Sun Wufei tried before, but in the end there was still one person missing. Besides Son Goku and Vegeta, the only ones who can become Super Saiyan are Son Gohan and Son Bella among the younger generation. Neither Trunks nor Son Goten can do it. It's not that they don't have enough talent, but because compared to the main Dragon Ball universe, both of them were born much later. Trunks is now 5 years old and Son Goten is only 4 years old. If they want to transform into Super Saiyan, they will have to train for another year or 2. So Sun Wufei had no choice but to give up the idea of transforming into Super Saiyan God right now. As for becoming Super Saiyan 4, Sun Wufei also tried it, but he was still a little short of it. After he became the Great Ape, he was still unable to completely transform into a golden ape. His body and limbs could turn into golden hair, but his head and tail could not. To become a Super Saiyan 4, one must completely transform into a golden ape. It seems that he hasn't practiced enough, and his strength hasn't reached the minimum limit of Super Saiyan 4. During these 2 years, Son Goku and Vegeta also practiced very hard to narrow the gap between them and Son Goku. Under the instruction of Son Goku, Son Goku also controlled his mind after trying Great Ape. After several riots, it finally worked. However, both he and Vegeta are the same as Son Goku. Their bodies and limbs can be transformed, but their heads and tails still cannot be turned into golden hair. The same is because the accumulation is not enough. There is no other way, just keep practicing. And the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament of this world is finally approaching. Buu, I'm taking you to a very fun competition this time. If you win, you can buy a lot of delicious food. Chapter 183. The venue of the world's #1 martial arts tournament. Looking at Supreme Kai Xian and Jupiter walking towards him, Sun Wufei curled his lips. As expected, it came. With a playful smirk, Sun Wukong flew up. Hello, are you Sun Wufei? Supreme Kai Xian floated in the air 1 foot above the ground, with a strange smile on his face. I've heard of your name for a long time. I hope to see you in person during the competition. Brother, is he the Supreme Kai Shin you mentioned? Son Goku looked Supreme Kai Shin up and down, then looked at Jebit beside him, and whispered to Sun Goku. Sun Wufei nodded, and shook the hand that Supreme Kai Xian extended without any surprise. Supreme Kai Shin-sama, long time no see. Sun Wufei's words made Supreme Kai Xian's smile suddenly freeze, and his eyes showed great surprise. You, how do you know me? Jebit on the side immediately put on a defensive look. Of course I know that this is not the first time we have dealt with each other, and of course, not in this universe. Sun Wufei laughed, come with me, I will explain it to you in detail. Supreme Kai Xian and Jebit followed Sun Wufei and others into the rest area for the semi-finals with full of questions in their minds. As the 3-time champion of the world's #1 martial arts tournament, the organizing committee arranged a large independent rest area for Sun Wufei. Now you can tell me, why do you know me? What do you mean when you say this is not the first time we have dealt with each other, and not in this universe? As soon as they entered the independent rest area, Supreme Kai Xian couldn't wait to ask. Don't worry, I'll let you meet someone first. Sun Wufei said this, and informed Fat Buu who was eating in the next room through telepathy. After a moment, clang. The door was pushed open and Fat Buu walked in with a smile. Demand Buu. Supreme Kai Zenon jumped up, and Jebit was so scared that his face turned pale. He stood in front of Supreme Kai Zenon and said, Master Supreme Kai, please move quickly. I will stop it. Don't be nervous, don't be nervous. Sun Gofei put his hands in the air, blocking Fat Buu and Supreme Kai Shin. Sir Supreme Kai, don't be nervous, this is Buu, but not a demon. He is my little brother, Mr. Buu, who only has a kind heart left. I brought him back from the main Dragon Ball universe. Dragon Ball universe. Supreme Kai Shin looked at Fat Buu fearfully, and was relieved to see that Fat Buu had no intention of attacking. You said you brought it back from the main Dragon Ball universe. Buu, what do you mean by that? So I said don't worry, let me explain it slowly. Sun Gofei will go to the main Dragon Ball universe through a time machine and briefly tell the whole story of his battle with Majin Buu. With the realm of Supreme Kai, of course he knew that after the diversion of time, a parallel universe would be formed, so he quickly understood what Sun Gofei meant. You mean, it comes from the future? Supreme Kai Shin pointed at Fat Buu, the shock on his face still as strong as ever. You've been to the future world, so you know me. That's right. Sun Gofei nodded, because I've experienced it. I know that you, Supreme Kai, came to this world's #1 martial arts tournament to follow the two subordinates of the magician Babadai to find the hiding place of his universe spaceship and prevent Majin Buu from being born. Yes, that's right. So Mr. Gofei, you already know where the spaceship is, right? Supreme Kai Shin suddenly became excited. Then you can help us prevent Majin Buu from being born, right? Supreme Kai Shin doesn't care about parallel universes, main universes, or future time and space. He only cares about the present and whether this universe will fall into the hands of Majin Buu. Why do you want to stop Majin Buu from coming into the world? Sun Gofei asked back, a confident and contemptuous smile on his face. Our current strength is far greater than Majin Buu, and I know how to completely destroy Majin Buu. There is no need to worry. That's right. I also want to have a good fight with Majin Buu to see who is stronger between him and Buu. Son Goku also spoke, his eyes full of fighting spirit. Kakarot, don't forget me. I heard from Castle that I was beaten badly by Majin Buu in the future world. I want to see if Majin Buu in this world can still hurt me. Vegeta also snorted coldly, with murderous intent boiling in his body. You actually want to release Majin Buu and fight him? Retreat. Supreme Kai Shin looked at Sun Gofei and the others as if they were crazy. Do you know how many planets have been destroyed because of Majin Buu? That's because he hasn't met our scion. Vegeta said with a conceited look on his face. Castle has already said that even the stronger Majin Buu in the future world has been defeated by him, let alone the newly born Majin Buu. Yes, Lord Supreme Kai, just sit back and wait. When the world's #1 martial arts tournament is over, I will take you to find the magician Babadai and kill him. Then I will release Majin Buu and completely destroy him, so that this universe will never be threatened again. Supreme Kai Xin was speechless, while Jabit frowned. He found that these mortals were too arrogant and had no reverence for God at all, and he wanted to teach them what it meant that God's dignity could not be violated. But Fat Buu was right next to him, so he didn't dare to act rashly. Although Sun Gofei said that Fat Buu now only had a kind heart, but no matter how you look at it, this guy is the same as the Majin Buu 10th floor in his memory. Under that chubby and cute appearance, there is an extreme terror and terrible destructive power. 4 Supreme Kai died in his hands one after another. That scene is simply unforgettable. And such a terrible Majin Buu has now become Sun Gofei's little brother and listens to Sun Gofei so much, which makes Jupiter really shocked. Forget it, just be patient for a while and see how things go. Sun Gofei did not seek Supreme Kai Xin's opinion, nor did he discuss it with the other party. He just notified him. He already knew the direction in which things were going to develop and had enough ability to deal with it. This time, he certainly would not allow any trouble to occur at the world's #1 martial arts conference. Videl, you wouldn't mind if we snatched your father's championship at this tournament, would you? Sun Gofei asked, looking at Videl next to Gohan. Perhaps it is the inertia of history. Although Son Gohan's personality has changed a little and his living environment is different, he still happens to be a boyfriend and girlfriend with Satan's daughter. Videl. Chapter 184. Of course not. Videl shook her head without hesitation. I know my father's strength very well. He was able to win the championship only because you, Uncle Gofei, didn't make a move. Indeed, the Dragon Ball heroes have been absent from several world martial arts tournaments. Without the help of a master, Videl's father, Mr. Satan, would be able to become the king of the world's #1 martial arts tournament. Son Gohan did not hide this fact like he did in the main Dragon Ball universe. Everyone in his high school knew that he was a powerful martial artist, and his father and uncle were heroes who had saved the Earth many times. Not to mention that Son Gohan is the eldest son of the Universal Capsule Company. It can be said that compared with the main Dragon Ball universe, because of the appearance of Son Goku, the Son Gohan in this world is definitely a hot young talent, a 640 who is talented, rich, and handsome, and is the prince charming in the minds of many girls. Videl and Son Gohan are boyfriend and girlfriend, and they don't feel wronged at all, and it's even a bit beyond their reach. Looking at Videl nestling in Son Gohan's arms like a little bird, Son Gohan couldn't help but feel filled with emotion. Same person, different fate. Son Gohan in this world is much happier than the one in the main Dragon Ball universe. The rematch of the world's #1 martial arts tournament has officially begun. Just like the original plot, the magician Babadai still controlled Spabiki and Ammo and asked them to collect energy. This time, Sun Wufi's first opponent was Supreme Kai Shin's servant Jebet. "Let me see your true strength, Sun Wufi." Jebet looked at Sun Wufi and said in a deep voice, "I don't believe your boast in front of Supreme Kai. If you don't believe it, then don't believe it. Why should I make you believe it?" Sun Wufi looked at Jebetel as if he was an idiot. Just as Jebet looks down on mortals, Sun Wufi also looks down on guys like Jebet who think they are superior to others because they are gods. He's just a servant of Supreme Kai, what's so great about that? Yes, Jebet's instant transmission is amazing, but Wu Kuave's instant transmission is not bad either. Moreover, during the time that Sun Wufi stayed in the future, he had learned instant transmission from Supreme Kai Xin, which did not require the induction of Qi. In fact, there is not much difference between the two. Both require a considerable understanding of the laws of space, and then fix them in order to form specialized skills. As for the ability to instantly heal others, this is unique to Jebetel. Sun Wufi can't learn it, but what does it matter? Kairin's ancestors also knew how to grow magic beans, which were much more practical than Jebet's healing ability. There was no need to worry about the enemy seeing through them and killing them first. Apart from these two abilities, Wu Fei really doesn't think that Jebet has anything to be proud of. Is it a big deal to be a follower of Supreme Kai? It's not Supreme Kai. Even Supreme Kai was horrified by the power of Sion. What is there to be proud of? How dare you talk to me like that? Jebet was shocked as he had never been treated like this before, especially by a mortal whom he looked down upon. What's wrong with me saying that? You're just a servant of Supreme Kai, not Supreme Kai. Don't act like you're the best in the world all day long. With your abilities, I don't even need to transform. I can kill you in 1 second in my normal state. Sun Wufi snorted disdainfully. That's right, after experiencing the battle with the future Majin Buu and returning to this world and training hard for 2 years, his current strength has improved a lot. In particular, he has become quite accustomed to the special transformation form with full potential and can enter it at any time. Even if he remains normal, Sun Wufi is much stronger than Jebishi. Arrogant guy, I will let you know how powerful I, Jebet, am. Jebet was completely furious. With a loud roar, he rushed towards Sun Wukong and attacked with his fists. Snort! Sun Wufi snorted lightly, without moving his feet, and just shook his body to avoid all the attacks. Jebetel used all his skills, but didn't touch Sun Wufi at all. Instead, he was shocked by Sun Wufi's strength and flew away. A hole! If you have the guts, stop hiding. Fight me! Jebet yelled. Attack? You are not worthy of it. Sun Wufi snorted disdainfully, and the next moment, he was already in front of Jebet, with his feet off the ground, looking at the tall Jebet at eye level. Arr! Jebet was shocked. He didn't even see how Sun Wufi got here. Bang! Sun Wufi stretched out a finger and flicked it on Jebet's forehead, sending Jebet flying without any resistance, and crashing hard into the wall of the stands outside the ring. World, Sun Wufi wins. The referee in sunglasses announced loudly. What happened? How did you lose so quickly? I don't know, I didn't see it clearly, the guy just fell out by himself. Isn't this a fake fight? I don't understand, what's going on? There was a lot of booing in the audience. Even Jeber himself didn't see clearly how Sun Wufi made the move, so how could the audience understand it? Get up, I didn't use much force, you shouldn't be hurt. Sun Wufi looked at Jebet lying on the ground, said lightly, then gently took off into the air and flew back to the rest area. This guy, is a monster. Jebit was very frightened. He couldn't even stop Sun Wufei with a single finger. If the other party wanted to kill him, wouldn't it be easy? It seems that what Sun Wufei said before was not necessarily just bragging. Perhaps, they have really surpassed Majin Buu by far. Wow! Mr. Gofei is so amazing. No wonder he said he could easily defeat Majin Buu. In the player's rest area, 4.9 Supreme Kai Xin, who was watching the game, had his eyes shining. He also didn't see Sun Wufei's actions clearly. He only felt a fleeting power fluctuation at the moment when Sun Wufei's fingers popped out. It can be seen that Sun Wufei has already controlled the power in his body to perfection. At this moment, he no longer had the slightest doubt about what Sun Gofei said. These scions really had more powerful power than Majin Buu. Next match, Nayan vs Son Goku. The referee in sunglasses announced loudly. Supreme Kai Xin couldn't help but shudder when he heard that. He no longer had any intention of fighting with Sun Wufei and the others. Well, I give up. A weak voice came from Supreme Kai Xin's mouth. The referee was stunned. Contestant Xin, what did you say? I abstain. Chapter 185. No, Lord Supreme Kai, I still want to have a good fight with you. Let's see how powerful the Supreme Kai above the Grand King Kai is. Son Goku said to Supreme Kai Shin with a dissatisfied look on his face. That's not necessary. Supreme Kai Shin's forehead was sweating a little. I am no match for you, Mr. Goku. You know that without a fight. Oh, what a pity. Son Goku sighed with regret and could only accept it. Next, the Dragon Ball heroes took the stage one after another, and finally, Son Goku, Vegeta, and Son Gohan entered the final showdown. The result of the match was Son Gofei vs Son Gohan, and Son Goku vs Vegeta. Let's fight normally. There's no need to transform, so as not to cause too much commotion. Son Gohan smiled at him. Gohan, don't be too nervous. Just treat it as your usual training with Uncle. Unleash your potential and attack with all your strength. Yes, Uncle. Son Gohan nodded, without transforming, but instead raised his energy to its normal limit and flew towards Son Gohan. Halfway through the run, his speed increased dramatically, and he poured all his strength into his right fist, striking Sun Wufei in the face. 23 It's quite fast. Sun Wufei narrowed his eyes slightly, raised his left arm to block the punch, and his body was also knocked back a step. Son Gohan didn't hesitate at all and followed up with an exploding demonic strike spin kick. Heavy force. Sun Wufei had to dodge and was forced to jump high into the air. Exploding demon flash. Son Gohan supported his left hand with his right hand and pulled it backwards, pouring all his strength into sending out an energy wave that blasted up fiercely. Oh my god! The speed was so fast that by the time Sun Wufei reacted, the energy wave had already arrived in front of him. You can only block it hard. Sun Wufei crossed his hands in front of him and took the energy wave head on. Wow! It's so hot! The exploding energy wave caused Sun Wufei's hands to ache and he felt a burning and stinging sensation. Son Gohan's series of combos are much more powerful than those in normal sparring. Sure thing Gohan, I didn't expect you to grow up so fast. Sun Wufei's expression became serious. Get ready, it's my turn to attack. Swish! Before he finished speaking, Sun Wufei had already moved. His figure disappeared in a flash, and appeared next to Son Gohan, chopping him with an elbow. The attack missed. Son Gohan had already moved away at high speed, and only his afterimage was hit. A foot kicked hard from the side. It was Son Gohan. But again, what he guessed was also the afterimage of Sun Wufei. The two of them started competing with each other at high speed. In the eyes of the audience, there were only afterimages flashing by continuously, and it was impossible to see clearly how the two people were competing. A moment later, there was a violent sound of fighting, which stunned all the spectators in the stands. Wonderful! So wonderful! This is much more exciting than the previous fight between the juniors. Amazing! This is the best martial arts tournament in the world. The ticket price is worth it. The audience cheered. From the beginning till now, they had never seen such an intense battle. It was really exciting. In the audience area. So strong. So amazing. Is this the power of Sion? Supreme Kai Xin was stunned, and so was Bai Shi. Hey! That's nothing. They haven't even transformed into Super Saiyan yet. Vegeta snorted coldly, but the corners of his mouth curled up. Son Gohan is getting stronger and stronger. He can actually compete with Son Goku for so long. Even though it's just normal, it's still pretty amazing. There was no doubt that this kid had already caught up with them. If they weren't careful, they might be overtaken at any moment. Call. After a fierce battle between Son Gohan and Son Gohan, the winner was finally decided. Son Gohan was the winner. He seized an opportunity of Son Gohan and knocked him down under the ring with a series of combos. Uncle, you are still the best. Son Gohan stood up, not hurt at all. Unlike the main Dragon Ball universe, Son Goku has paid special attention to training his body's ability to withstand normal attacks since he was a child, and even requires people around him to do the same. So for the current Dragon Ball heroes, the only difference between the inflated and non-inflated states is the attack power and destructive power, and there is not much difference in defense power. Even in normal state, it has a defensive power comparable to the strongest state. Gohan, you're already very strong. If you work harder, you might be able to surpass us. Son Goku laughed and flew down from the ring. The next match is between Son Goku and Vegeta. Unlike Son Goku, Vegeta had no intention of fighting in a normal manner, but instead directly transformed into the third stage of Super Saiyan and fought Son Goku with all his strength. There was no choice but for Son Goku to transform into the third stage of Super Saiyan, but fortunately the two knew how to restrain themselves and did not further transform into the third stage of the legendary Super Evolution version. What a strong energy reaction! That's right, it's them. Spabiki and Yamo had been eliminated by Krillin and Buu respectively in previous battles, and were also watching the battle in the contestants' rest area. The previous battle between Son Goku and Son Gohan was just in normal state, without transformation, and the chi was only increased for a moment at the moment of attack, so the energy detectors in their hands did not react much. But now Son Goku and Vegeta transformed into Super Saiyan 3rd level and fought with full firepower, and they sensed it in an instant. An expression of excitement appeared on his face, and he rushed towards the two of them, trying to grab their energy. Vegeta, who was in the middle of a fight, certainly would not be polite to the two troublemakers, and Son Goku had said before that there was no need to show mercy to them. He immediately attacked with a gas bullet, smashing the two men to pieces. Then continue fighting. Okay, Goku, Vegeta, that's enough, stop fighting. The huge energy made the ground in the entire venue shake. These two guys were just fooling around in the arena of the world's #1 martial arts tournament, using the power of the 3rd level of Super Saiyan to compete. I really want to fight with all my strength, let's go to King Kai's starry sky. Son Goku and Vegeta stopped with a sense of unfulfilled desire at Son Goku's roar. I give up. Vegeta regained his composure and jumped off the ring. In terms of normal combat power, there is not much difference between him and the brothers Son Goku and Son Goku, but in terms of transformation, his mastery of the 3rd stage of the Super Evolution version is not as deep as Son Goku and Son Goku. If he really goes all out, Vegeta knows that he will definitely lose. Anyway, he had already fought for a while, so he had exercised his hands and feet. He didn't care about winning or losing the game at all. I also admit defeat in the finals. I am no match for my brother. Chapter 186. Son Goku simply admitted defeat, and the championship of the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament fell on Son Goku's head. The audience was actually a little dissatisfied with the result of this competition. After all, in the history of the world's #1 martial arts tournament, there had never been a case of a finalist giving up. However, Son Goku and others don't care what the audience thinks. The energy in their bodies now is simply too huge, and it is not suitable for them to fight in such a crowded place. Even if one tries to restrain oneself, a single mistake can result in a large number of casualties. Piccolo, let's take care of Guanjin. Let's go with Supreme Kai to solve a small problem. Son Goku didn't stay to receive the award, it was too much trouble, and he didn't need money at all. Magician Babadai should be aware of the death of Spabik and Amo, so we should hurry over there in case he moves away, and that would be troublesome. In the end, the 5 people who accompanied Supreme Kai Shin and Jupiter to deal with the Magician Babadai were Son Goku, Son Gohan, Vegeta, Buu and Krillin. Well, do we still need to take him with us? What if he is controlled by Babadai? Flying in the air, Supreme Kai Shin glanced at Buu and spoke weakly with some concern. Don't worry, Buu is different from that Majin Buu. He only has a kind heart left and will not be controlled by Babadai. Sun Wufei smiled and said, and this time, Bu will be of great use. Brother, have you already made up your mind? As a twin brother, Son Goku knows Son Gofei best. At this moment, seeing the playful smile on the corner of Son Gofei's mouth, Son Goku knew that his brother probably had a comprehensive plan. Yes. I do have an idea, but I won't know if it will work until I get it right. Sun Wufei chuckled, keep it secret for now. Tisk. Playing mysterious again. Vegeta muttered in dissatisfaction. Okay Vegeta, you'll have your chance to shine soon, so don't be so irritable. Son Gofei laughed, and then as if he remembered something, he spoke again, by the way, if you want to fight, Goku and I are always here to accompany you. We can even go to the Supreme Kai world to compete. Vegeta, remember to control yourself and don't let Babidi take advantage of the opportunity to control you. What? Supreme Kai Xin was shocked, isn't Babidi only able to control people with evil thoughts? Yes. Although Vegeta is very different from the past, there is still a trace of evil thoughts in his heart. He is not pure and flawless. What if Babidi notices it? Sun Wufei hesitated to speak. If I say no, then I won't. Vegeta interrupted Sun Wufei angrily, K-Cell, don't look down on me. I am King Vegeta, I can't be controlled by just any cat or dog. That so-called magician Babidi better not come after me, or I will make him die miserably. A cold murderous intent emanated from Vegeta, and Supreme Kai Shin was shocked. What Sun Wufei said was right. Compared with the others, Vegeta's murderous intent was indeed much stronger. He could indeed be in danger of being controlled by Babidi. But Vegeta insisted, and Supreme Kai had no choice. His identity as Supreme Kai did not have much restraint on perverted guys like Sun Gofei. Just as Sun Wufei and his group were flying towards Babidi's universe spaceship, Babidi was buried in the bottom layer of the universe spaceship under the wasteland. Hey? Spabiki and Yamo's life responses disappeared. Who killed them? Magician Babidi raised his head as if aware of something, with a strange look in his eyes. Could it be Supreme Kai? Has that guy noticed my intention? Damn it! A drop of sweat dripped from the forehead of Magician Babidi. Lord Babidi, what's wrong with you? Asked Dopura, the king of the dark demon world. Spabik and Yamo were killed. Magician Babidi looked serious. I think it's that damn Supreme Kai. What if he comes looking for me? Just come and find me, I'm still here, right? Dapper chuckled nonchalantly and said, no matter who comes, I will get rid of them for you, Lord Babidi. Babidi also laughed, that's right. There is no one in this world who can compete with you, Dabura. If that guy Supreme Kai dares to come, I will kill him and avenge my father's murder. According to memory, Sun Wufei brought everyone to the wilderness where Babidi's universe spaceship was hidden. This area doesn't look any different from other places, Mr. Wufei, you're not mistaken, are you? Supreme Kai Xin looked at the surrounding environment and asked suspiciously. You can't go wrong. Sun Wufei said affirmatively, and then pointed to the dilapidated house in the distance. Look, the nearby residents were brutally murdered, really. There was not a single living person to be seen in the entire area, all of them had died tragically. The kind-hearted Son Goku and Son Gohan looked at this scene, anger rising from their hearts. These bastards! I won't let them off. Son Gohan stood up suddenly with his teeth clattering. Uncle, are you saying that's where the universe spaceship is? The location Son Gohan pointed to was the entrance to the top level of the universe spacecraft. In the entire wasteland, only that place is different from other places. Kamehameha. Son Gohan's hands were shaped like calyxes, and powerful energy waves quickly gathered in his hands. Gohan, what are you doing? Are you planning to destroy the universe spaceship? That will cause Majin Buu to be born prematurely. Supreme Kai Shin screamed in panic, Li Ma Zhao, then let him be born early. Dash wave. Son Gohan replied coldly, and the Kamehameha wave blasted out, hitting the entrance of the spaceship. Boom. A violent explosion sounded, and strong light suddenly spread out along with shock waves and smoke. Several figures rushed out from the flames of the explosion. They were Babidi and his men. A hole. Who the hell dared to destroy my universe spaceship? Damn it! Babidi's angry roar echoed across the wasteland. If it weren't for the Dark Demon King Dabura protecting him, he would have died before he could even open the shield. Babidi, it's not enough to just destroy your universe spaceship. We're going to take your life too. Sun Wufiai's voice rang out, and his figure flew up from the high cliff, floating in front of Babadai and the others. Chapter 187. Soon after, Son Goku and the others also flew up and came to Son Goku's side. Supreme Kai. It's you after all. The magician Babadai narrowed his eyes, and the next moment he jumped in the air and started cursing. You damn BD! You killed my father and you're always trying to make things difficult for me. I'm going to kill you today and let you experience the most painful death possible. Before Babadai finished speaking, his eyes suddenly focused on Bu behind Son Gofiai, and his eyes suddenly widened. Bu, Bu? Bu, is that you? You came out. Bu frowned, stretched out his hand and looked at Babadai. I remember you, you are the bad guy I killed. Killed? What does that mean? Everyone was a little confused, because Son Gofiai didn't tell them that Babadai was killed by Majin Buu. In the future world, Babadai was killed by Majin Buu. Son Gofiai explained in a low voice. Bu, what are you talking about? Why are you standing behind those guys? Come here, I am your people. Babadai jumped up and down, yelling and chanting some magic spells, trying to control Bu, but found it was useless. How could it be? How could it be useless? It's impossible. 997 Lord Babadai, he is not Majin Buu. He has been here since the beginning. Majin Buu is still in the dome, said Dabura, the king of the Dark Demon Realm. Yes, that's right. Majin Buu should be in the dome. Where is the dome? Babadai suddenly turned around and looked towards the location where the universe spaceship exploded. There was a deep pit on the ground, and black smoke was still emitting from it, but the wreckage of the spaceship and the giant egg at the deepest part could already be seen. To be precise, it was an eggshell that was split in two. Where's Majin Buu? Why is Majin Buu gone? Babadai panicked and started spinning in the air looking for it. Ha ha ha. Babadai, your Majin Buu has probably dried up in the long-term seal. This is the result of your evil deeds. Supreme Kai Xin laughed ecstatically. No, that's not the case. Son Gofiai's voice sounded. Majin Buu did not disappear, but was able to escape from the dome early due to Gohan's attack just now. Ah, escaped, escaped. Supreme Kai Xin was stunned, and his expression suddenly became twitchy. Where is it? BBJL. Sun Wufiai pointed to the sky above the deep pit, where a group of pink clouds were gathering and a powerful energy was emerging from the clouds. That is, Majin Buu. Supreme Kai's expression changed, and fear appeared in his eyes again. That's right. As Sun Wufiai finished speaking, the clouds continued to gather towards the center and gradually formed a human shape. The next moment, Buu's fat figure was completely revealed. Wow! With a cheer, Majin Buu fell from the air to the ground, put his right hand on his forehead, looked around, and kept muttering, Yo ho ho! Yo ho ho! It's Majin Buu, it's really Majin Buu. My Majin Buu is not dead. Babadai was overjoyed and flew towards Majin Buu on the ground. Bu, I am your master, you know that? I was the one who released you from the egg. You must obey my orders. Owner. Majin Buu looked at Babadai curiously, then suddenly stuck out his tongue and made a face, Leal. Wow! Babadai was startled, but Majin Buu burst into laughter. What an idiot! The Dark Demon King Dabura landed beside Babadai, looked at Majin Buu, and couldn't help but snorted in contempt. Lord Babadai, it seems that this Majin Buu is a failure, acting just like a child. All our efforts have been in vain. Yes. Babadai looked dejected, it was all in vain. I came all the way to Earth just to revive Majin Buu, but I didn't expect. Master Babadai, don't be discouraged. I'm here. I will always follow you loyally and help you eliminate all enemies. That Supreme Kai and those guys, I will help you deal with them. Dabura said, staring at Sun Wufiai and his group. Majin Buu, on the other hand, was not as angry as before about Dabura's words, because he saw Bu standing behind Sun Gofiai. Who are you? Majin Buu's eyes narrowed. Birds of a feather flock together, and he instinctively felt disgusted with Bu. Boss, is he the bad guy? Bu still retains the memory of the evil Majin Buu, and the aura emanating from Majin Buu at this moment is very similar to that in his memory. Yes. It's him. Sun Wufei nodded. Bu, do you want to take revenge and beat him up? Think. Fat Bu remembers very clearly that he was defeated by the evil Bu that separated from his body and turned into chocolate and eaten. If Sun Gofei hadn't rescued him, he would have had to stay in the body of evil Bu for the rest of his life. Thinking of this, Fat Bu couldn't help but get angry, and a lot of steam spewed out from the small holes on the top of his head and around his neck, making a sound like water boiling. I'm going to beat him up. Bu flew up towards Majin Buu on the ground. At the same moment, Majin Buu also flew up. I'm going to kill you. Kill you, kill you. There are two Majin Buu from different time and space, one has only kindness left, and the other has just been released from the seal and has both good and evil. When they meet at this moment, they are incompatible and they directly entangled and started fighting. Brother, is this why you brought Bu here? To let him deal with that Majin Buu. Son Goku now understood that Son Gofei brought Bu here specifically to let Bu deal with Majin Buu. This is the equivalent of leaving Bu to deal with himself. After all, the one who is most familiar with Majin Buu is Bu. The point is, the current Bu is obviously stronger than the newly released Majin Buu. The outcome of this battle is almost unpredictable. Well, it's time for us to clean up the remaining debris. Sun Wufei's eyes flashed with cold murderous intent. Sir Supreme Kai, I'll leave Babadai to you, and we'll take care of the other guys. I'm here to finish this Dapra off. As he said this, he was about to rush forward. K-Cell, who said Dabura is yours? I didn't agree. Vegeta flashed out and blocked Sun Gofei. That's right. Brother, you can't eat alone. Uncle, I want to fight that guy too. Chapter 188. You guys. Sun Wufei was speechless. He just had his eyes on the high-level vitality of Dabura, the king of the dark demon world, and wanted to kill him and extract it with his golden finger. Son Goku and Vegeta, what are you doing here? Even the innocent Gohan was corrupted. Give Dabura to me, and the rest of them are yours. No. Son Goku and Vegeta looked determined, and although Son Gohan didn't say anything, his expression said it all. No choice, guess Ding K. Rock, paper, scissors. Tie. Rock, paper, scissors. Tie. Rock, paper, scissors. Haha, I win. I said I'll take care of Dabura, right? As a result of guessing Ding K, Son Gofei won, and Son Goku and Vegeta could only reluctantly give Dabura to Son Gofei. Then they each faced off against several other men of Babadai. Assholes! How dare you look down on me, Dabura! I will send you all to hell. Seeing that Sun Wufei and the other two actually guessed Ding K to compete for the qualification to fight against him, the Dark Demon King Dabura's face was as ugly as if he had eaten shit, and he roared viciously. What are you yelling about? Are you trying to see who's louder? Sun Wufei picked his ears and hooked his pinky finger at Dabura. Alright, I don't want to waste my time talking to you, hurry up. After I take care of you, I want to watch Bu fight Majin Buu. Sun Wufei's impatient look made Dabura completely furious, and he pounced on Sun Wufei with a Zhou Tianhuo. Hey! With a slight tremor of his body, Sun Wufei had transformed into a special transformed form with full potential. Although his appearance had not changed much, the aura on his body was instantly different. Is he in his full potential state? I didn't expect that my brother would be in his strongest form right from the start. Son Goku, who was fighting a monster that could devour light, glanced at it and was secretly surprised. At the same time, he became even more envious. Son Goku's transformation was much easier than his and Vegeta's third stage of super evolution. I really don't know when they will be able to have such a transformation. This guy Castle. Vegeta also noticed that Son Gofei had transformed to his full potential. A hint of indignation flashed across his face, and he suddenly burst out with his strength, and with just 2 moves he beat the 2 guys who were fighting against him into pieces. These guys are so weak that there's actually no need for him to take action. Soon, Son Goku and Son Gohan also dealt with their opponents. The difference in strength was too great, there was no comparison at all. The battle between Sun Wufei and Dabura also became one-sided. Call. With one kick, Dabura's face was deformed, and with a loud bang, a hill in the distance was smashed to pieces. How is it possible? I am the king of the dark demon world, how could I lose to such a guy? Dabura stood up from the ruins, but he was covered in wounds and even one of his eyes was blind. Is the king of the dark demon realm so great? In my eyes, you are nothing but a piece of scum. Sun Wufei snorted coldly. If it wasn't for the purpose of absorbing the vitality from Dapra's body, he would have destroyed it completely with a ki blast. How could this be? Dabura can't beat that guy. Magician Babadai panicked, his eyes widened. Swish! Sun Wufei disappeared. The next moment, he stood in front of Dabura. Ah! Dabura opened his mouth and spat out saliva towards Sun Wufei. Snort! Sun Wufei snorted coldly, and an invisible air wall appeared in front of him, directly blocking the saliva. The next moment, the power of thunder and fire was activated, and the saliva turned into ashes at a speed visible to the naked eye. You're done. Extending his right hand and pressing it on Dabura's heart, Sun Wufei smiled evilly. 1,19, Dabura's eyes showed great fear, but before he could finish, Sun Gofei had already sent out a powerful ki blast that went straight through his chest and shattered his heart. Dabura, the king of the dark demon world, dies. The power of thunder and fire surged out, instantly burning his body. Sun Wufei grinned, activated the golden finger, and the vitality in Dabura's body was continuously sucked into the endless space in the palm of his right hand. Its outer shell also turned into ash as if weathered. It. Magician Babadai's eyes were wide open, his face full of horror. Bang! His protective shield was also broken by Supreme Kai Xian's fierce attack. Babadai, your doom has come. Humph! You are just like your evil father, the scum of this universe. Today, on behalf of the gods, I will completely eliminate you. A brilliant green light shone on Supreme Kai Shin's palm. It was the light of divine power, which slammed heavily onto Babadai, enveloping his entire body. Wow wow wow! Amid screams, Babadai's body shattered into pieces, and even his soul was completely dissolved. He died completely, without even the chance to go to the underworld. Call! Supreme Kai Shin let out a long breath. Destroying Babadai's body and soul consumed a lot of his divine power. However, it's not over yet, there is a bigger threat. Supreme Kai Shin looked up at Buu and Majin Buu who were fighting fiercely. Buu has transformed into a fighting form, a tall and muscular figure with a surge in combat power, completely suppressing Majin Buu who had broken the seal. This time, Majin Buu did not absorb enough power, and his combat power is far inferior to Majin Buu in the main Dragon Ball universe. Although he possesses incredible recovery abilities, unlike the original Kid Buu, his stamina will still be consumed. Under Buu's continuous attacks, his physical strength had dropped to a very low level and he began to gasp violently. You can't do it. I'm going to eat you. Buu punched Majin Buu in the stomach, and at the same time, the tentacles on his forehead suddenly shot out red light, hitting Majin Buu accurately. Turn into chocolate. Curse. With a slight sound, Majin Buu was turned into a piece of chocolate. Buu picked it up and was about to put it in his mouth when he suddenly remembered something. He broke the chocolate in half and threw one piece to Sun Gofei. Boss, I want you to be like Kelly. Sun Wufei smiled. He had never tried the taste of Majin Buu chocolate. He immediately threw it into his mouth and started chewing. The taste is similar to ordinary chocolate, not very delicious. Hey? Suddenly, a huge amount of vital energy was drawn out from the chocolate and gathered into the endless space in the palm of the right hand. Chapter 189. XX. There was a look of deep shock in Sun Wufei's eyes. He clearly felt that the vitality this time was different from before, with an additional strange power. With a thought, Sun Wufei brought out the light curtain pattern. There's a change. In addition to the potential value and physical strength value, a pattern with the words recovery ability was drawn. Not only that, the limits of potential and stamina have also been raised. Above the red super god level, a new level appeared, which changed from a circular pattern to a star-shaped pattern, the Starry Sky level. Gold finger upgraded. Sun Wufei was overjoyed. The gold finger had not changed for a long time. He thought that the effect of the gold finger was about to end. Unexpectedly, after absorbing the vitality of the chocolate that Majin Buu turned into, a breakthrough upgrade occurred. Very good. Unable to wait, Sun Wufei stared at the plus button on the potential value and silently said increase in his mind. Crash. The energy absorbed from Dabura was almost consumed instantly, and even the energy absorbed from Majin Buu chocolate was consumed a lot. And his potential value finally broke through from the orange legendary level to the light red super god level. Then, there was no change. It seems that Majin Buu chocolate's vitality level has reached its limit. Well, there is also physical strength. Following the same pattern, Sun Wufei also raised his own stamina to the light red super god level. There was still a little energy extracted from Majin Buu's chocolate, and Sun Gofei added it to his recovery ability. In terms of the recovery ability icon, he was originally only at the blue excellent level, stronger than the Earthlings, but not much stronger. But under the effect of the remaining vitality extracted from Majin Buu chocolate, it was directly raised to the limit of deep purple epic level. Reaching out his hand and scratching a bloody mark on his arm, Sun Wufei discovered that the bloody mark healed at a speed visible to the naked eye, and there was no trace left at all. His recovery ability has really become much stronger. Perhaps, it can be comparable to Piccolo. Puff, puff, puff. The sound of steam gushing out was heard, and Sun Wufei looked up and saw that Buu had also changed after swallowing the other half of the Majin Buu chocolate, but his appearance had not changed much. But his size has shrunk a lot, and now he is only a head taller than Sun Wukong. His body looks more elastic, and it is obvious that his flexibility has become stronger. A cloud of mist also spurted out from his head and neck, gradually condensing into shape in mid-air. Skinny Buu. It's Skinny Buu with all the evil in him. After absorbing Majin Buu, Buu gave out some of his evil energy. However, this time, Skinny Buu was not able to take away much power, only about half of the original Majin Buu's power. Snort! Without waiting for others to react, Vegeta rushed directly to Skinny Buu and punched him. Call! Half of Skinny Buu's body was smashed by Vegeta's punch, and lightning flashed at the wound, which was the power of the lightning law. Vegeta was obviously extremely unhappy and took out all his anger on this Skinny Buu. Punches and kicks like raindrops continuously landed on Skinny Buu, leaving the newly formed Skinny Buu without any ability to fight back, and his body continued to fall apart. Under the influence of the power of the Thunder Attribute Law, the recovery ability is restricted and it is difficult to recover quickly. Dirty trash! Die! Ultimate, Flash with his hands gathering a powerful destructive force with golden lightning, he slammed a powerful ki blast into the incomplete body of Skinny Buu. A terrible explosion sounded, and Skinny Buu's entire body was swallowed up, inch by inch becoming invisible, completely vanishing into thin air, without even a single cell left. You stole my opponent, that's so mean. Buu returned to his original fat appearance, looked at Vegeta with some dissatisfaction, then turned and flew to Sun Gofei's side. Boss, I feel like I've become more powerful again, hee. Fat Buu said to Sun Gofei as if he was presenting a treasure, looking for praise. Buu is so awesome. Sun Gofei gave his praise without hesitation. Fat Buu swallowed half of the original Majin Buu, so of course he became stronger. But it was a blessing that he thought of me and gave me half of the chocolate that Majin Buu turned into, otherwise Sun Gofei would not have had a chance to break through. Perhaps, after practicing for a while, I can try to break through to Super Saiyan 4. The dust has settled, and the crisis of Majin Buu has been eliminated before it has fully emerged. 0646044223 Fula 10433080 Supreme Kai Xin heaved a sigh of relief, while Jebit's eyes were still a little dazed, as if he couldn't believe that things could be resolved so smoothly. Mr. Gofei, Mr. Goku, Mr. Vegeta, thank you for your help. On behalf of the entire universe, thank you. After calming down his excitement, Supreme Kai Xin flew to Sun Wufei and the others and expressed his gratitude to them. What a pity. I didn't get enough fun. The enemy was too weak. Sun Gohan muttered. Apart from the Kamehameha wave that destroyed the universe spaceship at the beginning, he had almost no chance to take action. Supreme Kai Xin and Jebit were speechless. These scions are all perverts. Especially Sun Wufei, the most perverted. Everyone, thank you for your help this time. It's time for us to return to the Supreme Kai world. If you need any help in the future, just use this to contact me. I will definitely not refuse. Supreme Kai Xin took out a communicator and gave it to Wu Fei. Why wait until later? We have something we would like to ask Supreme Kai for your help right now. Sun Wufei smirked. Ah! Supreme Kai Xin was stunned. This guy Sun Wufei is really rude. Then he smiled and said, what is it? Tell me, as long as I can do it. Please Supreme Kai, take us to the Supreme Kai 0.8 world. I want to pull out the Supreme Kai sword. What? Supreme Kai Shin and Jupiter were shocked. When Son Goku told them about the future world, he was rather vague. He only mentioned the destruction of Majin Buu, but did not explain the process clearly. The Supreme Kai realm is a holy place. Apart from Lord Supreme Kai, not even the Great King is qualified to enter. How can you mortals just enter if you want to? Jebet snorted, his face full of a condescending sense of superiority. Castle, can I beat this guy? Vegeta glanced at Jebet with an unhappy look on his face, and had the urge to attack him immediately. The Holy Land is just a symbol. It's not like I haven't been there before. Sun Wufei curled his lips, besides, we are actually helping you by entering the Supreme Kai world. What? Chapter 190. Supreme Kai World. Swish. Jebet teleported with Supreme Kaizen and Son Goku. Sir Supreme Kai, do you really believe what that guy said? The Supreme Kai sword is the first divine sword that no one has ever been able to pull out. He actually said that the old Supreme Kai from 15 generations ago is sealed inside. Isn't this too much? Although he brought Sun Wufei and the other three to the Supreme Kai world, Jebet still didn't believe what Sun Wufei said. I believe Mr. Wufei would not speak nonsense. Supreme Kai Xin had a trace of sweat on his forehead. After all, he has been to the future world. Jebet wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Supreme Kai Xin, no buts. Think about it yourself, Jebet. The Supreme Kai sword has been stuck on that sacred peak for many years. Who has ever pulled it out? If what Mr. Wufei said is true, is it possible for you and me to pull it out with our strength? This. Jebet was speechless. For things like this, it's better to believe it exists than not to believe it. It's okay to let Mr. Wufei and the others pull out the magic sword. If our ancestor is really sealed in the magic sword, we, as descendants of the future generations, should find a way to release him instead of being obsessed with the identities of gods and mortals. It is Supreme Kai-sama 23 arrive at the mountain with the Supreme Kai sword. Brother, you brought us here just to let us pull out this sword. Son Goku looked at the Supreme Kai sword with a curious look on his face. It doesn't look anything special. It's nothing special, except that it's heavy. Sun Wufei laughed and said, Goku, you can try, this sword is not so easy to pull out. Real. Son Goku became interested and held the hilt of the sword with both hands, then I'll try it. Trademark wow. Son Goku is now in his normal state, trying his best with veins bulging, but the Supreme Kai sword remains motionless. Damn it. I don't believe it. I can't even pull out the sword. With a flash of golden light on his body, Son Goku directly turned into the full power state of the super evolved version and used it again. Drink ah. The ground began to shake, and cracks appeared on the ground around the Supreme Kai sword. The cracks grew bigger and bigger until it finally broke apart completely. The entire mountain shattered, and the Supreme Kai sword was completely pulled out by Son Goku, jumping into the air, just like Son Goku had done before. Really dialed it out. Jebet was stunned, but Supreme Kai Xin's eyes lit up. It can be pulled out. Mr. Wufei is not talking nonsense. Supreme Kai Xin flew to Sun Wufei. Mr. Wufei, what should we do next to release the ancestor? Well, this is very simple. Sun Wufei grinned, and the next moment, the sword of energy appeared in his hand, and he slashed directly at Supreme Kai. With a crisp sound, the Supreme Kai sword was cut off, and Supreme Kai Xin and Jebet's eyes widened instantly. Supreme Kai sword. The most powerful sword in the legend is broken just like that. Even though he was prepared to break the Supreme Kai sword, Supreme Kai Xin was still quite shocked to see Son Goku cut the Supreme Kai sword so easily. Jebet, who had always been skeptical about this, was so shocked that he couldn't describe it in words. Of course it has to be disconnected. If it's not disconnected, how can old Supreme Kai be released? Sun Wufei smiled and pointed behind them. Look, it's over there. The two looked back and saw the old Supreme Kai wearing Supreme Kai clothes. What happened next was the same as what Sun Wufei had experienced. The old Supreme Kai criticized Supreme Kai Xin and Jupiter harshly, saying things like each generation was worse than the previous one and they were two idiots and good for nothings. Even though Jupiter acted superior to Son Goku and the others, he didn't even dare to fart in front of the old Supreme Kai. That timid look made Sun Wufei want to laugh. What? Someone has been to the future, so they came to save me. After listening to Supreme Kai Xin's story, the old Supreme Kai was obviously very surprised. He turned his gaze to Sun Wufei and stared at him for a while, then a look of surprise appeared in his eyes. Strange, how come I can't detect what's in your mind? Grandpa Supreme Kai, you are not the first person to say this. Karin Immortal, the gods, and King Kai have all said the same thing. Sun Wufei smiled and said, by the way, your future self also said that. Sun Wufei, right? How did you get to the future? The old Supreme Kai looked at Sun Wufei seriously. Is this important? Sun Wufei felt that something was wrong. The old Supreme Kai looked at him unkindly. Was he going to tell him something about the laws of nature again? Of course it's important. Old Supreme Kai's saliva spurted out all of a sudden. You are seriously disrupting the order of time and space, disrupting the laws of nature. This will cause huge changes in the world. Oh, let it change. Even if it's not me, the parallel universe will still appear. Sun Wufei shrugged, not caring. As long as there is a slight change, time will be diverted. The only difference is whether it changes for the better or for the worse, right? The old Supreme Kai was speechless. Sun Gofei really knows a lot. Grandpa Supreme Kai, this is what you told me, you in that future world hehe. The old Supreme Kai was completely speechless. He could basically imagine that the future him had already told Sun Wufei everything he should and shouldn't say, and it would be useless for him to say it again. This kid has no intention of listening to others at all. Okay, after all, you were the one who freed me from this broken sword, so I'm going to do you a favor. Waving his hand, the old Supreme Kai said, tell me, what do you want my help with? Hey, old Supreme Kai really has a keen eye. Son Goku flattered them a little, then pointed at Son Goku and the other two and said, I would like you to help them develop their potential. How do you know I have this ability? Old Supreme Kai raised his eyebrows. Of course, Grandpa Supreme Kai, you told me yourself, of course, in the future. As Sun Wufei spoke, he suddenly reached his full potential, a state I achieved after the establishment of the King of the Realm. It's really a powerful force. No wonder he was able to defeat Majin Buu. Old Supreme Kai nodded, but you should know that I won't help you easily. Of course I know that. Sun Wufei nodded repeatedly, I just want to get along with beautiful women, I'm ready for it. As long as you, Grandpa Supreme Kai, help develop Goku and the others' potential, I will find you 3 beauties and they will stay with you for a year. They are all beautiful girls with curvy figure, plump and sexy figure. Chapter 191. The old Supreme Kai finally agreed to help Son Goku and the other two develop their potential. As for the 3 beauties promised by Sun Wufei, of course Bulma was the one who arranged them. With the financial resources of the Universal Capsule Company, hiring 3 young and beautiful girls to accompany the old Supreme Kai for a year is no big deal. In Bulma's words, a problem that can be solved with money is not a problem at all. In this way, after Son Gofei, Son Goku, Vegeta and Son Gohan also reached their full potential. Compared to the legendary Super Evolution version of the transformation, the full potential state is obviously more convenient. One can enter with just a thought, and the combat power unleashed is no less than that of the 3rd stage of the legendary Super Evolutionary version, and may even be stronger. The consumption of excess energy is even less. It can be said that this is the most suitable state for fighting. Abandoning the insignificant sound and light and cool effects, everything returns to the basics, just to increase combat effectiveness in the best way. This is very good, very good. Perhaps, Super Saiyan God is not the best state of evolution, Super Saiyan 4 is. This thought flashed through Sun Wufei's mind again. Having developed his potential, Son Gohan returned to school to continue his studies. However, Sun Wufei asked him not to slack off in training and to set aside at least 2 hours of training every day to ensure that he would not regress. The training place of Son Goku, and Vegeta was moved from King Kai's planet to the Supreme Kai world. King Kai is too small. Moreover, given the solidity of King Kai's planet, with the current strength of Son Gofei and the others, it could be destroyed if they were not careful. Supreme Kai is still the best, it won't break no matter how you hit it. At least not yet. Time passed little by little, and 2 years had passed in the blink of an eye. In the past 2 years, Sun Wufei has never given up on improving his strength, and his combat power has steadily increased, but he still has not been able to break through to the 4th level of Super Saiyan. There is always a small group of hair on the tip of the tail that cannot turn golden. Sun Wufei couldn't figure out the specific reason. Bulma, number 18, I want to use the time machine to go back again. Sun Wufei's biggest problem is that he can't sit still. The story of Dragon Ball GT takes place 10 years after the Majin Buu arc, and the story of Dragon Ball Super takes place 4 years later. Sun Gofei is not sure whether the story of this Dragon Ball universe will develop according to the plot of Dragon Ball Super or the plot of Dragon Ball GT, but no matter which plot develops, there will be at least 2 years of peace. And Sun Wufei has already felt the bottleneck. Without any adventures or pressure from other masters, the improvement in strength would be too limited if one just practices normally. At this rate, it would be impossible to reach the 4th level of Super Saiyan within 2 years. As for Super Saiyan God, Sun Gofei didn't intend to transform so quickly. He wanted to break through to Super Saiyan 4 first, and then absorb the power of God to become a Super Saiyan God. By then, maybe some wonderful changes will occur. Are you going out again? Bulma frowned. Wufei, you were gone for 3 years last time, how many years do you plan to be gone this time? Yeah, Wufei, Goten is still young, shouldn't you spend more time with your son? Number 18 was also reluctant. Well, the last time was an accident, really. I don't know why there was a 2-year discrepancy. I only stayed in the Dragon Ball universe for 1 year. Sun Wufei scratched his head and said, I promise this time that I will definitely come back within a year. How about Bulma, you can help me make a reminder, and when the time is about to reach a full year, you can send me a message, how about that? Because of the early appearance of the time machine manufacturing notes, Bulma has already done quite good research on the flow of time. Sun Wufei believes that it should not be difficult for Bulma to make such a reminder. Ah, I still can't persuade you. Bulma shook her head with a headache, but could only nod and agree. She knew very well that if a man was determined to leave, she could not keep him by force. The more Song Jin tried to stay, the more he ran away. As long as Sun Wufei promises to come back on time, that will be enough. As for the reminder that Sun Wufei mentioned, Wufei, please wait a few more days. I will hurry up and make it. 3 days later, Bulma handed a bracelet to Sun Gofei. This is a space-time bracelet. It can display the time difference between your space-time and our current space-time, including displaying different time flow rates, so that you know when you should return at the latest. Looking at the small and exquisite space-time bracelet in his hand, Sun Wufei was overjoyed, and at the same time he admired Bulma even more in his heart. Bulma, if you can comprehend the laws of space-time, you will definitely be amazing. Forget it, I'm only interested in scientific research. I'll leave combat training to you, Scion. Bulma waved her hands, hugged Sun Wufei and gave him a kiss. Similarly, number 18 also gave Sun Wufei a kiss. Then Sun Wufei got into the time machine, started it, took off into the air, and disappeared in a flash of light. At the same moment that Sun Gofei disappeared, Son Goku and Vegeta arrived at the scene again, along with Son Gohan. That guy from castle ran away again, damn it. Vegeta gritted his teeth, clenched his fists, looked at Bulma and asked, Bulma, haven't you been researching time machines for a long time? Have you achieved any results? Can you make another time machine? Build another time machine? Why? Son Goku asked, scratching his head in confusion. Of course I'm going to chase Castle. Haven't you noticed that he always comes back a long way ahead of us? I don't want to be left behind by him again. Vegeta's face was full of determination. Even if we can't catch up with him, we, Li, can't let him become stronger alone. That makes sense. I'm also interested in what my brother went through. Son Goku also became interested and looked at Bulma and said, Bulma, help us build a time machine too. You guys. Bulma shook her head speechlessly, but finally, she couldn't stand Son Goku's nagging and agreed to create a new time machine in the shortest time possible. Here, Sun Wufei took a time machine to a more profound future world. The dark future world inhabited by the big trunks of the future. Call out. With a flash of light, the time machine appeared, the hatch opened, and Goku flew out. I don't know if this is the time and space where the androids exist or the time and space where Black Goku exists. Sun Wufei looked around and muttered. Chapter 192. Sun Gofei doesn't remember the exact time of the future world very clearly, but it seems to be a world 20 years after Frieza and his son came to Earth in the main Dragon Ball universe. All Sun Mufi has said is a general time, which is between 20 and 30 years after Frieza and his son came to Earth in the main universe. How many years exactly is it? Let the time machine randomly select. This is the Earth of the future world? So pitiful. Sun Mufi was in a city, or to be more precise, in the ruins of a city. By the way, this huge building in front of us that is more than half destroyed is the rubber plantation company's building. A time machine can only travel to a parallel universe at a different point in time, but it cannot change the location. Sun Mufi traveled through time from Bulma's home in the capsule company, so this must also be Bulma's home in the future world. However, they have basically been destroyed, with only broken walls and ruins left. The sky is so gloomy, it seems to be affected by some powerful force. Suddenly, Sun Mufi felt a violent energy fluctuation in the distance. One of the energy fluctuations seemed familiar, while the other also seemed familiar, yet strange at the same time. Trunks' chi. It's the future Dato. Then the other one, could it be Black Goku? Swish! His figure soared into the sky, and Sun Wu flew towards the direction of the power fluctuations. Boom! A huge roar, accompanied by a strong impact, was coming from a distance. Sun Mufi saw two figures fighting fiercely from afar. One of them exudes a golden aura, and it is the future Trunks. Judging from the flashes of lightning diffused in the golden aura around him, it was obvious that he had broken through to the second level of Super Saiyan. B. Still no match for his opponent. His opponent, who is dressed very similarly to Son Goku, but wears Supreme Kai earrings on his ears. It's Black Goku. Zamasu after taking over Son Goku's body in the parallel universe of Dragon Ball Super. Today is the day you stop breathing, you Saiyan. When Sun Mufi arrived at the battlefield, Trunks was knocked to the ground by a heavy blow from Black Goku. The sword in Trunks' hand was held in Black Goku's hand, raised high, and was about to stab Trunks. Stop! With a loud roar, Sun Mufi fired a gas bullet from his hand, which hit the sword that Black Goku had stabbed, causing the sword to spin and fly out. Who? Black Goku pulled back and glanced over like a hawk. Sun Mufi's figure flashed, and the next moment, he landed on the ground. Son Goku! Another dark man! Black Goku and Trunks both reacted with looks of surprise. Black Goku mistook Son Goku for Son Goku, while Trunks mistook Son Goku for another dark man. Because Son Goku and Black Goku's costumes are so similar. In fact, this is the orthodox clothing of King Kai, except that there is a big Kai character on the back of Son Goku's clothes, and he doesn't wear earrings, but at first glance, it is exactly the same as Black Goku. You got the wrong person. I'm not Son Goku. I'm Son Goku, Son Goku's brother. Sun Mufi walked towards Trunks, and in the shocked eyes of Trunks, he helped him up. Trunks, are you okay? Trunks was still a little confused. You said you were Mr. Goku's brother. That's right. In a parallel universe in the past, Goku and I were twin brothers. Sun Mufi nodded. I came to this world in a time machine. Time machine? Trunks' eyes widened. How come? Isn't there only one time machine, the one my mom built? Yes. The one that Bulma made. Sun Mufi nodded. It was the one that Zillo stole after he killed you in the future of another parallel universe. But he was unlucky and ran to the past where I existed, and I killed him, so the time machine came into my hands. Okay, this matter cannot be explained in a few words, let's solve the current problem first. While Son Goku was talking to Trunks, Black Goku was always looking at Son Goku. Suddenly, a guy with clothes very similar to his appeared, but it was not Son Goku, but a guy who claimed to be Son Goku's brother, which made him feel extremely strange. As far as he knows, Son Goku should only have one brother, Raditz, and he died a long time ago. Where did this Sun Mufi come from? Humph. No matter who you are, it doesn't matter to me. The shock and confusion in Black Goku's eyes disappeared, replaced by cold murderous intent and contempt. I just need to kill all of you and eliminate all humans. The world is so beautiful, but ugly humans have tarnished the beauty of the world, so I want to clear out all humans and make the world beautiful again. I have destroyed countless humans. The next thing to be destroyed is the ugliest earthlings in the universe, who possess wisdom beyond time, are constantly quarreling and abusing violence. The ugliest things must be severely punished. Taste this despair and terror that cannot be escaped. After Black Goku finished shouting, he flashed and rushed towards Son Goku, slashing him with a knife. Sun Wufei raised his hand and blocked it easily. Then he suddenly kicked to the side and back. Black Goku appeared right at that position and was kicked hard, sending him flying. Humph! You talk too much nonsense. All you've said is to prove that you are a lunatic. Sun Wufei retracted his leg and snorted with disdain. The next moment, a soaring momentum burst out from him. The dense dark clouds in the sky quickly scattered under the impact of this force. The dark sky, which was originally covered with darkness and only had lightning raging, became clear again, revealing a huge full moon. Full moon day. It turns out that today is a full moon. No wonder Black Goku covered the entire sky with black clouds. Is he afraid that if Trunks sees the great ape after the full moon, his power will surpass his? After all, Son Goku's tail had long been completely cut off by the power of the gods and could no longer grow, and even if Zamasu took over his body, he couldn't reverse this. Wow, that's awesome! Trunks on the side was stunned, with a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Mr. Wufei, can you help me defeat the Dark Man? Chapter 193. Certainly. Sun Wufei nodded. I came to this era just to deal with this guy. Trunks, go start the time machine first, I'll deal with him. Start the time machine? Mr. Wufei, even you are not sure you can kill him. Trunks was stunned. He thought Son Goku could defeat Black Goku, but he didn't expect Son Goku to ask him to use a time machine to escape. That's not the case. Son Goku shook his head. Hey, of course I'll take care of this guy. I just want to go to the main Dragon Ball universe with you to remind Goku. Son Goku's previous trip to the future of the Dragon Ball main universe has already caused changes in Dragon Ball history. Because he went to the future instead of the past, there was no diversion of time, so the future of the main Dragon Ball universe must have changed. But this change obviously did not affect the appearance of Black Goku. So Son Goku feels that it is necessary to remind Son Goku and Vegeta of the Dragon Ball main universe to prevent the birth of Black Goku of the Dragon Ball main universe. As for this Black Goku, he'll take care of it. Boom! The ruins in the distance exploded, and Black Goku rushed out from them. Sun Wufei's previous attack caused a lot of damage to Black Goku, but this guy's characteristic originally had a pain growth, and the damage he received could make him adapt faster. Goku's body. Therefore, this guy's chi is even more powerful than before. It's quite durable. Sun Wufei has already opened up his full potential. Although he looks the same as usual, his combat power is far superior to that of the third stage of the Super Evolution version. Perhaps, he already has the strength of the original Dragon Ball main universe Super Saiyan God or even Super Blue. I've been training hard for 2 years, and I just want to see what level I've reached and what I'm still lacking. So I'll use your evil thing as a training ground. Evil. Sun Wufei's words made Black Goku grin grimly. My ambition, my beauty, everything about my existence is the pinnacle of aloofness. You are just a human being, how can you possibly understand the noble character contained in my words? The real evil is you humans, especially scions like you. Therefore, you must be eliminated. With a roar, Black Goku attacked Son Goku. There was a special power in his fists and kicks, which was the product of the combination of God's power and Scion's power. It is a special kind of power that is neither divine nor human. This kind of power gave Sun Wufei a sense of déjà vu. When his divine power of laws and his own strength combined to defeat the enemy, it seems to be like this. No, it should be said that when his divine power of laws and his own chi are combined, it is even stronger than this special power. Black Goku is just a special power that he gained through automatic fusion after being a Supreme Kai and exchanging bodies with Son Goku. Compared to the power formed by the combination of the true law power and the vitality of living things, it is far inferior in terms of lethality and destructive power. With a sneer of contempt on his lips, Sun Wufei mobilized the power of the law of thunder and fire, combined it with his own energy, spread it throughout his body, and attacked Black Goku. Is this the power of God? After just a few blows, Black Goku was defeated again by Sun Goku, with a look of extreme shock in his eyes. Impossible. You are just a human, how can you master the power of God? The power of God? Ridiculous. The power of law is not unique to God. The so-called divine power is just the initial exposure to the power of law. It has some innate advantages over humans, but who says humans can't master it? On Sun Wufi's palm, the power of thunder and fire shone, and he forced the doctor step by step towards Black Goku. A hole. An extremely strong rage suddenly erupted in Black Goku's eyes, green flames ignited around his body, and his hair stood up and turned green. Transmit the super evolution state. Sun Wufi narrowed his eyes. Black Goku's chi had indeed increased significantly, but it didn't seem to be as much as the normal super evolution state that increased his combat power. By the way, Black Goku only had his human part of his chi enhanced, but his divine power remained unchanged, so the combined enhancement is not that much. This guy is still far from fully adapting to Son Goku's body. Are you angry? It turns out that a god like you who thinks he is high and mighty can also get angry and embarrassed. Hey, star! Sun Wufi sneered, and the power of lightning and fire in his palm became more and more violent. You keep saying that humans must be eliminated, but in the end, it's just that you are afraid of the power of humans. Pathetic and ridiculous lunatic. Humph. I stand at a much higher level than you. This world, this universe, and all the truths of all things are in my eyes. In the end, I found that humans should be destroyed. The only failure among all things created by God is humans. Therefore, humans must be eliminated to make up for the mistakes of God who refuses to admit failure. Black Goku said something disgusting and pretentious, and his hands merged into a calyx shape. Powerful energy gathered in his palms. 0, 0 Death is a blessing to fools. So, die. Lonesome waves. The powerful ki blast, shot out from Black Goku's hand, flew towards Sun Go, containing Black Goku's divine power. Mr. Wufi. Danger! Trunks screamed. If a Kamehameha wave of this magnitude were to be launched towards the earth, it would be enough to smash the earth into pieces. He simply can't take it. Facing Trunks' frightened reminder, Sun Wufi's expression did not change. Kamehameha wave? A piece of trash who has stolen someone else's body will never be able to exert its true power. Sun Wufi's eyes flashed with brilliance. Let me teach you what the real Kamehameha wave is. With his hands placed on his waist in the shape of a calyx, Sun Wukong arrived first and blasted out another Kamehameha wave. It collided heavily with the Kamehameha wave sent out by Black Goku. Buzz! The strong shock wave suddenly spread out in all directions. Ugh! Black Goku's Kamehameha wave only lasted for a short time before it was completely blocked by Sun Gofi's Kamehameha wave. No, that's impossible. No. Amidst screams, Black Goku was hit by the Kamehameha wave, and smoke came out of his body as he shot towards the sky. That's all. Sun Wufi spat with disdain. Okay, I'll finish you off right now. Chapter 194. Lonesome Waves. Another Kamehameha wave was fired at Black Goku, and Sun Gofi was tired of fighting this Black Goku. Compared with the anime version of Dragon Ball Super, it is obvious that this is a world developed according to the comic version. Black Goku now cannot turn into a rose-red state at all. Sun Wufi doesn't want this guy to become stronger by taking advantage of Sion's resurrection from the brink of death to increase his power. Just finish him off. Call out. A figure suddenly appeared next to Black Goku, grabbed him and dodged the Kamehameha wave at an extremely fast speed, landing on the roof of a ruined building in the distance. Yes, Zamasu. The person who came was Zamasu from the future world. Unlike Black Goku, since Son Goku and others do not exist in this future world, the wish made by Zamasu with the Super Dragon Ball is to become immortal. Equals its own combat capability is not that strong, not even as strong as Trunks. However, because this Zamasu did not officially become a Supreme Kai, his true identity is still a follower of Supreme Kai, and like Jepitel, he has the ability to resurrect people. In just a short moment, Black Goku was healed by Zamasu. You're here. I didn't expect that I would have to ask you to come here. A hint of depression flashed across Black Goku's eyes, but then, the cold murderous intent reappeared, that BD. If I hadn't come, you would have been killed. Then, is our plan still going to work? Zamasu grinned. The human elimination plan must involve the two of us. Sun Wufi frowned. No matter in the animation or comics, Black Goku and Zamasu would be extremely difficult to deal with when they met. With his current strength, Sun Wufi did not have absolute confidence that he could defeat the two. Trunks, start the machine. Quick! Sun Wufi yelled at Trunks. $7,789. Stunned by Sun Wufi's fighting power, Trunks, who had been watching the battle, finally came to his senses and rushed to the underground of the Universal Capsule Company's building. Start a machine? Start what machine? Sun Wufiai's words startled Black Goku and Zamasu, but then Black Goku started grinning. It doesn't matter. No matter what your plans are, I can kill you all. Swish! With a flash of his figure, Black Goku disappeared from the rooftop and appeared in front of Sun Wufiai. His energy suddenly surged. Use Sion's ability to increase his power when he is revived from the brink of death to increase his strength. Sun Wufiai narrowed his eyes slightly. It is obvious that Black Goku has not yet completely controlled Son Goku's body, so he cannot transform into Super Blue state. However, every time he is resurrected from the brink of death, his strength will increase, and his control over his body will also increase, until it reaches the limit of his current body. If he was alone, Sun Wufiai wouldn't be afraid. The key is that there is also the immortal Zamasu. Once the two of them merge. With my current strength, I'm afraid I can't win. Hey! You were so arrogant just now. Why are you hesitating now? Could it be that you finally realized how insignificant you are as a human being? Black Goku had a cruel smile on his face. It's no use begging for mercy, humans must be eliminated. I will use the most cruel means to completely destroy you. Begging for mercy? Are you crazy? You are the guy who was beaten like a dog by me, do you have the right to say such words? Sun Wufiai's face darkened, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. The power in his body began to combine with the power of the laws of thunder and fire. All along, he only used the power of the law when his own strength could not defeat the enemy, because he was always worried that the gods would notice it and cause unnecessary trouble. But now it's different. This is the future world. The gods here, besides Zeno, Grand Priest and the 12 angels that have stopped functioning, are only Black Goku and Zamasu. Zeno and Grand Priest won't care about the affairs of this little earth, so there's no need to worry about it. I also want to see to what extent I can completely fuse my own vitality and the power of the law. A trace of the power of the laws of thunder and fire began to flash in Sun Wufiai's body, and combined with his own vitality bit by bit. What? A look of surprise flashed across Black Goku's face. He felt a strange force rising from Sun Wukong's body. It seems very similar to his. No, it doesn't seem to be stronger. Zamasu. I'll let you know now what Sion's wrath is. With a loud roar, a purple gold aura burst out from Sun Wufiai's body. This was the power of the full potential combined with the power of the law of thunder and fire. It was completely complete. Boom! The ground exploded and Son Goku flew towards Black Goku. How could he know? Black Goku's face showed horror, and before he could react, he was hit hard in the abdomen by Son Gofiai. Black Goku's whole body was bent like a shrimp. He opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood, and bloodshot appeared in his eyes. Call. Sun Wufiai's attack did not end there. He directly used his left elbow to strike down the hammer, stabbing Black Goku's back hard, knocking him down, and then followed up with a kick. A flying kick landed on Black Goku's face. Boom boom boom. Black Goku's body shot through several buildings and slammed heavily into the ruins in the distance. Humph. So what if you use Sion's characteristics to increase your strength? In my eyes, you are still a small fry. With a disdainful snort, Sun Wufiai glanced at the ruined Universal Capsule Company. Hasn't Trunks started the time machine yet? With this world's Zamasu around, Black Goku will definitely become even stronger and break through to Super Saiyan Masahiro. By then, it will be 2.8 times more difficult to abuse the opponent like this. Hey! Suddenly, Sun Wufiai felt a faint breath not far from here. With a flash of his figure, instant transmission appeared next to the breath. It's Xiao Wu. It's Xiao Wu from this world. Trunks didn't seem to notice that Xiao Wu was not dead yet. Trunks, stop the engine first, Xiao Wu is not dead, come and save him. Sun Wufiai said urgently to Trunks in his heart. Xiao Wu is not dead. In the basement of the Universal Capsule Company, Trunks had just put the fuel into the time machine and was about to take the risk of driving the machine when he heard Sun Wufiai's voice transmission and was suddenly shocked. The next moment, he rushed out from underground without thinking and rushed to Sun Wufiai's side. Xiao Wu, she is really not dead. But, she was seriously injured. Chapter 195. So I asked you to save him. Sun Wufiai said, you should have become a disciple of Supreme Kai and completed the ritual of a servant, right? Servant ceremony? Mr. Wufiai, are you referring to that weird dance that we performed all day long? Trunks was stunned. That's right. Sun Wufei nodded, as long as you complete that ritual and become a formal attendant of Supreme Kai, you will have the ability to fully restore those who are not dead. Really? I have this ability. Trunks looked at his hands in disbelief. Certainly. Sun Wufei said affirmatively, concentrate your strength and release it with all your strength. You will definitely be able to save Xiao Wu. Boom. In the distance, a violent explosion was heard, and Black Goku landed on the battlefield again. The wounds on his body had completely disappeared. It was obvious that they had been healed by Zamasu. Moreover, Sun Wufei discovered that the aura of Black Goku this time had undergone a drastic change compared to before. Apparently, recovering from this serious injury allowed him to completely control Son Goku's body and push its strength to the limit. In other words, although he can no longer improve, he has already made a breakthrough and can become Super Saiyan Red. Trunks, save Xiao Wu, then go back to the past and find Son Goku and Vegeta for help. I'll stay and help you hold them off. Sun Wufei stood up. He originally wanted to go back to the past with Trunks, but after seeing Black Goku at this moment, he changed his mind. Perhaps it was the Saiyan warlike blood in his body that made him suddenly feel extremely eager to fight such a powerful opponent. After the fight just now, Sun Wufei has a considerable understanding of his current strength. Perhaps it is because his potential has reached the super god level, or it may be because the old Supreme Kai helped him develop all his potential power and break through the limit. His current strength is no weaker than Super Saiyan Blue God. If I could break through my current limit and become a Super Saiyan 4, it can definitely be compared to gods of destruction and pressure. Fighting on the verge of death is the best way to break through. Sun Wufei knew it was risky, but in order to become stronger, it's all worth it. What's more, he has a lot of life-saving cards. LOL. Black Goku looked at Sun Wufei, and suddenly an evil and complacent smile appeared on his face. I have finally reached a realm that you humans cannot reach. Unreachable realm. Sun Wufei's pupils shrank slightly. As expected, has he reached a realm beyond Super Saiyan God? That is, Super Saiyan Red. Wah-ah-ah-ah-ah. Amidst the shouts, a rose-red light rose from Black Goku's body. The next moment, as if condensed into substance, the outer shell shattered and disappeared. And under the rose-red aura, Black Goku is no longer in the state of Super Saiyan. His hair and eyebrows have all turned rose-red, and the color of his pupils and irises has turned grayish-white. The energy has increased explosively. Oh, so handsome. Zamasu landed next to Black Goku, so after God surpassed Super Saiyan God, he didn't turn blue, but rose-red. According to your Saiyan taste, this should be called Super Saiyan Red. Black Goku grinned and stretched out his hand, his palm in a claw shape. Feel this unparalleled power. Oh, by the way, I forgot you haven't even reached Super Saiyan God yet. Black Goku said, his eyes narrowing slightly, but you're the first Saiyan who can push me to this level under normal circumstances. Your body seems to be even stronger than Son Goku's. It's a pity that the Super Dragon Ball has been destroyed, otherwise, I really want to feel how much stronger your body can be. Black Goku's words made Sun Wufei laugh. He had a mocking smile on his face. A guy like you wants my body? Dream on. Sun Wufei raised his right thumb and pointed at himself, as long as I don't agree, no one can take my body away. Sun Wufei was not just talking nonsense, he once collected 7 Dragon Balls and asked Shenron this question, if someone made a wish to the Super Shenron summoned by the Super Dragon Ball, could he exchange his body? There is a strange power blocking your body that even I cannot detect. Although Super Shenron is powerful, I don't think he has the ability to forcibly swap your body with someone else's. This is Shenron's answer. Sun Wufei believed that Shenron was definitely not talking nonsense. This is his peculiarity as a time traveler, including his special physique that is unknown to the gods. All of this may be related to the golden finger in his body. Until now, Sun Wufei still doesn't know where the golden finger in his body came from, but one thing is clear, it seems to be a product of a higher dimension beyond this Dragon Ball universe. In short, with the golden finger, he doesn't have to worry about being tricked in this Dragon Ball universe. Humans are indeed foolishly self-confident. Black Goku's expression darkened. In that case, I will completely destroy all your confidence, and then eliminate you. Call out. Black Wukong 107 Sora's figure moved, leaving an afterimage, but he had already appeared beside Sun Wufei. A heavy punch came upon him. Go! Sun Wufei raised his left hand and caught Black Goku's fist with one palm. Whoosh bang bang! A fierce fight broke out. Sun Wufei and Black Goku exchanged fists and kicks, and a fierce confrontation began in mid-air. Reaching out to block Black Goku's whip kick, Sun Wufei did a roundhouse kick and collided with the opponent's fist, and they both retreated. I didn't expect you to be so strong. You've been hiding your strength before, right? Black Goku looked at Sun Wufei and asked in a deep voice with some surprise. Do I need to answer you? Sun Wufei snorted disdainfully. To be honest, he was not hiding his strength, but before this, he didn't know what level his strength had reached, and even thought that it was far worse than Super Saiyan God. And just now he realized that he has far surpassed the state of Super Saiyan Blue God in the main Dragon Ball universe. Of course, it refers to the Super Saiyan Blue God state of Son Goku and Vegeta in the original plot of the Dragon Ball main universe. If he were to break through to Super Saiyan God now, his combat power would definitely be far greater. The state of the Blue God, that depends on whose Blue God it is. Chapter 196. No answer. Black Goku's face was gloomy, but suddenly, the corner of his mouth curled up. It doesn't matter. I will kill you soon anyway. It doesn't matter whether you answer or not. Just as he was about to attack again, a dull sound suddenly came from underground. Then, Trunks drove the time machine through the roof of the Universal Capsule Company and rushed into the sky. What kind of machine is that? A plane? Trunks shouldn't be so weak that he can't even fly, right? Black Goku showed surprise in his eyes, and suddenly fired Kamehameha wave towards the time machine. Bang! A ki blast flew from the side and intercepted Black Goku's Kamehameha wave. I said, your opponent is me, make no mistake. Son Goku stood between Black Goku and the time machine, glanced behind him, raised his voice and shouted, Trunks, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and leave. I know. Mr. Wufei, the insurance ship. Trunks nodded heavily, started the time machine, and disappeared with a swish. It's gone, what happened? Black Goku sensed it carefully and found that Trunks' energy had completely disappeared. Even if Trunks could suppress his anger completely, the woman named Xiaowu who was taken away by him couldn't suppress her anger completely. How could it disappear without a trace? Don't look for it. You won't find it even if you look for it. Son Goku smiled. He was now completely certain that the plot of this Dragon Ball world after the Majin Buu arc would develop in accordance with the plot of the Dragon Ball Super comics. If the future world was like this, the main Dragon Ball universe would probably be similar. It doesn't matter, as long as there are no problems in his own parallel universe. As for other parallel universes, I will help if I can, but there is nothing I can do if I cannot. Now, it's time to put all your energy into fighting Goku. Call. The two rushed forward again and collided violently. The war begins again. A parallel universe 17 years ago. Hey ha ha ha. Yeah, hit. Son Goku and Vegeta are fighting fiercely over the capsule company's pool. Of course, both of them are using their normal state. For normal training, the normal state is enough. After all, as long as the normal state becomes stronger, the power after transformation will also be stronger. By the pool, Beerus and Whis were enjoying the cool air and waiting for their delicious meal. Swish! There was a flash of light in the sky, and the time machine appeared and landed on the ground. Bulma rode out of the house on a hoverbike and her pupils shrank as soon as she saw the time machine. That is the time machine that the future Trunks is riding in. What happened, and why did Trunks show up? When Bulma was surprised, the door of the time machine opened, and Trunks jumped out with Xiao Wu, his body covered with scars. Trunks? Mother! After some explanation, everyone finally understood the whole story. The Dark Man. Looks exactly like me. Son Goku frowned. There's also a guy who claims to be my twin brother, fighting against the Dark Man. Kakarot, do you have a twin brother? How come I didn't know? Vegeta asked. I don't know either. Son Goku scratched his head and laughed. Maybe, it's from another parallel universe. Whis said, because changes have occurred in the past, time will be diverted and parallel time and space will be created. This is not impossible. Anyway, the guy who claims to be my brother is on our side. Son Goku laughed. If Son Goku could hear this conversation, he would suddenly realize that he had previously thought that the changes he made when he took a time machine to the future Dragon Ball main universe would change the entire Dragon Ball world. It seems that he just created a new parallel universe. The universe where Trunks takes the time machine to get help is the real main universe of Dragon Ball. Mr. Wufiai asked me to ask Mr. Goku and Dad for help. He is holding back the Dark Man in the future, but my time machine only has enough fuel for a one-way trip, so I can't go back. Trunks' eyes were filled with self-blame. It's all my fault. If I were stronger, maybe I wouldn't. Trunks, what kind of fuel are you talking about? Son Goku asked curiously. Cyan number 15 electrolytic fluid. Cyan number 15 electrolytic fluid? That's the energy source we are developing. Bulma exclaimed in surprise, but it's a bit troublesome. Even if all the machines are used at maximum power, it will probably take a whole day to fill up the energy tank of the time machine. One day. This time it was Trunks' turn to shout, so fast? It took us a year to collect the one-way ones. Then, Trunks competed with Son Goku and showed his strength, which was no weaker than Super Saiyan 3, making Son Goku and Vegeta more curious about Black Goku. After some discussion, it was decided that Beerus and Whis would investigate Black Goku's identity, while Son Goku and Vegeta would follow Trunks to the future to help. At this time, the future world. There was an extremely intense fight between Son Goku and Black Goku and Rose Red. During this battle, Son Wufiai became more and more adept at controlling the power formed by the combination of the power of the laws and his own strength. Son Wufiai gave this special power a new name, called Immortal Power. In the end, it had completely become an instinct, and his combat effectiveness was further enhanced, subtly suppressing Black Goku. It was at this time that Zamasu of this world joined the battle. Wang Nios and Black Goku besieged Son Goku together. Zamasu's power is not strong, but his immortality gives Son Goku a headache. This guy's immortal body was so powerful that even his immortal power was powerless. No matter how serious the injury is, it will recover immediately as soon as the attack stops. It is really a headache. It feels like Son Wufiai is dealing with a more powerful Majin Buu. The key point is that these two people were originally the same person. Their fighting power when they joined forces was greatly improved, which made Son Wufiai feel great pressure. Injuries began to appear on his body. Assholes! You were once Supreme Kai after all. A duel should be one-on-one. Don't you understand that? After being kicked hard by Black Goku again, Son Goku shouted angrily. Duel? What a naive and stupid human being. We are carrying out a great plan, not dueling with you. Chapter 197. Zamasu laughed loudly and stretched his hands forward suddenly. Two white lights shot out from his palms and enveloped Son Wufiai. Suddenly, Son Wufiai felt a weight all over his body, and he couldn't move. Immobilization technique. Son Wufiai's heart sank. This seemed to be a special application of divine power that confined the space around his body, making him unable to move. How is it? My strength is indeed not as good as his who took over Sion's body, but I also have my own fighting skills. Zamasu grinned, when it comes to the use of divine power, I am the island of gods. Ha ha ha. Raising his hand suddenly, Zamasu controlled the white light in his hand and sent Sun Wukong flying towards the ground and smashed it hard. Call. A large hole was smashed into the ground, and spider web-like cracks spread out in all directions from under Sun Wukong's body. That's it. I'm going to give you, 440, a fatal blow right now. On Black Goku's right hand, a rose-red air blade condensed into substance appeared. With a sinister grin, it rushed down from the air and stabbed towards Sun King Fi's back. Damn it, I can't hide anymore. Sun Wufiai tried to use all his strength to escape, but there was no way. At this moment, his body was completely controlled by Zamasu and he couldn't move at all. In such a short period of time, time stop cannot be activated. Oops. Puff. There was a sharp pain as the blade pierced my flesh. Zamasu's air blade pierced through Sun Wufiai's back, came out from his chest, and pierced deep into the ground. Wow! As soon as Sun Wufiai opened his mouth, hot blood spurted out and his aura trembled. Ha ha ha! If I pierce your heart, even if Sion has strong vitality, you will be dead. Black Goku grinned, I told you that I will wipe out all of you stupid humans. You won't be the last. Zamasu retracted the white light that immobilized him, and Sun Wufiai finally recovered his movements and climbed up from the ground tremblingly. Hey? Not dead yet? Black Goku's eyes flashed with surprise. Scion, you are really a tenacious race. But it is because of stupid humans like you that this world has become so broken. So, go to hell, boom. The fierce ki blast, blasted out from Black Goku and Zamaisu's hands at the same time, hit Son Goku heavily, pushing his body to smash several buildings, and rushed far into the valley at the edge of the city. Boom! The flames and explosions that shot up into the sky enveloped the area within several miles around the entire mountain. Mr. Wu. This scene was seen by Trunks and his two companions who came to help in a time machine from the main Dragon Ball universe 17 years ago. Trunks roared and rushed out of the time machine. Son Goku and Vegeta also jumped out. Looking at the broken surroundings and the ruined city, Vegeta's face turned gloomy. This is the future of Earth, but it's really too much. Son Goku also had a look of emotion on his face, with a hint of anger in his eyes. Mr. Goku, Dad, Mr. Goku, he doesn't know what happened. Trunks was a little anxious, he couldn't feel Son Goku's energy anymore. No breath. Vegeta shook his head, I'm afraid you're hopeless. Did those two guys do it? Son Goku raised his head, looking at Black Goku and Zamasu floating in the sky in the distance, anger rising up in his heart little by little. That dark man really looks like me. Son Goku looked at Zamasu, frowning, you are the dark man the guy called Zamasu. You used the Super Dragon Ball to swap bodies with me, right? We already know it all. Swish! Black Goku fell from the air, with Zamasu beside him. You know about that, too? Was it Trunks who sent the message? Sure enough, that wasn't a spaceship, it was a time machine that could travel back in time. Black Goku's eyes fell on the time machine behind Trunks and the other two. Trunks was startled and quickly turned the time machine into a universal capsule and put it away. That's right. What about the me whose body you replaced? How is he? Son Goku asked. Don't worry, I will kill him right away, and I will kill your wife and children as well. He. Black Goku's words made Son Goku's face suddenly become gloomy, a hole. You even killed Shishi and Goten. I will never forgive you, boom. With a blue light flashing on his body, Son Goku immediately transformed into super blue form and rushed towards Black Goku. Kakarot. Vegeta showed surprise in his eyes. It was the first time he saw Son Goku using his full strength right from the start. It seems that Son Goku is really angry. Forget it, I'll let you do it this time. I'll deal with Zamasu. Vegeta shook himself and also transformed into Super Saiyan Blue, rushing towards Zamasu. In the distance, among the rubble and ruins of the mountains on the edge of the city, Sun Mufi was lying on the ground, and the wounds all over his body were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye, including a pierced heart. Is this, the recovery ability taking effect? Scions do not have the ability to repair themselves, and Son Goku has not yet become a Super Saiyan God, so he cannot recover from the red flames. This kind of effect can only be produced by the recovery ability that appears after the golden finger is upgraded. A strange power surged out from deep within his body, and Sun Mufi suddenly had a feeling. He had long felt that he was just a little bit away from transforming into Super Saiyan 4, but no matter how much he practiced, he could not achieve that level. Now, it seems to be okay, call out. The tail grew out again without anyone noticing. There is a full moon night every month, but only in August. The 15th and 16th days are considered full moons. And today is exactly August 13th. Sun Mufi looked at the full moon in the sky, and his heart suddenly began beating violently. Whoosh! Whoosh! Whoosh whoosh! The blood flow in the whole body is getting faster and faster. The next moment, his body mutated and began the great ape. In just a few seconds, it turned into a giant golden ape several dozen feet tall. Roar! With a roar towards the sky, Sun Mufi suddenly jumped up from the ground, drew an arc, and landed directly on the battlefield where Son Goku and others were. What's going on? Son Goku is fighting fiercely with Black Goku, who has also transformed into Super Saiyan Red and has incredible combat power. Even though Son Goku attacks with all his strength, he still cannot gain the upper hand. The appearance of Sun Mufi directly interrupted the battle. Chapter 198. Man you, Great Ape, it's that guy. He's not dead yet. Black Goku's eyes showed an extremely shocked expression. He had clearly pierced Son Goku's heart, and the ki blast he and Zamasu launched at the end was extremely lethal. There was no way Son Goku could survive. Even if it's Great Ape, it shouldn't take all the injuries on his body to heal. Besides, don't all Great Ape have black hair? What does this golden hair represent? Mr. Wu Fei. A drop of cold sweat hung on Trunks' face, and he stared at the golden giant ape in amazement. Ah! It's a full moon here. He turned into a giant ape. And it's golden. Son Goku jumped in the air with a look of surprise, looking at the huge golden giant ape. Vegeta also looked confused. Sion's great ape doesn't seem to have a golden color. What's going on? Roar! Another roar came out of Son Goku's mouth, and he stomped hard on Black Goku. Black Goku dodged and Son Wufi's foot stomped hard on the ground. The huge force made the whole earth tremble. Humph! No matter how big your body is, it doesn't matter. If you lose your mind, you are just a stupid wild monkey. Watch me kill you. With a cold snort, Black Goku rushed towards Son Goku and blasted a Kamehameha wave towards Son Goku's face. Call! Son Goku raised a hand to block the Kamehameha wave, then took a step forward and grabbed Black Goku's fist. What? Wow! Just like hitting a sandbag, Black Goku was smashed to the ground by Son Goku. Then he was grabbed again, swung around and thrown out hard like a baseball. Boom boom boom! Several buildings were pierced and collapsed directly. That's awesome! Son Goku's eyes lit up as he was watching the fight. Lost his mind? Humph! I don't think so. That kind of attack is not something that a giant ape that has lost its mind can use. Vegeta's eyes narrowed. He could see that Son Wufi's attack was very methodical and not out of instinct. Could it be that Son Wufi has not lost his mind? Crash! Black Goku rushed out from the ruins, covered in dust and with a trace of blood on his cheek. Damn it! You damn wild monkey, actually injured. So what if I hurt you? A disdainful voice rumbled out from Son Wufi in the air, and Son Wufi's golden giant ape's mouth curled up into a wicked smile. Who told you that I lost my mind? What? Black Goku was shocked. You still have your sanity. Won't the lower level warriors in Sion lose their sanity after Great Ape? Son Goku claims to be Son Goku's twin brother, so he should have been a low-level warrior. Although Son Goku is powerful, he also lost his mind after the Great Ape. Logically, Son Goku should be the same. Why can Son Goku keep his sanity? Did I ever say I lost my mind? Son Wufi snorted, you two bastards, you teamed up to deal with me, and you used dirty tricks to trick me. I will pay you back 10-fold and 100-fold. 10 times or 100 times. Ha ha ha. Black Goku laughed. Humans are creatures that refuse to give up because they are intelligent. Haven't you realized the gap between you and me? Do you think that by becoming a great ape you can defeat us? Ridiculous. Zamasu also sneered. Did I ever say that I would use Great Ape to deal with you? A disdainful sneer rang out from Son Wufi's mouth. The next moment, a golden red light emanated from his entire body, and his body began to shrink rapidly. Eventually, it returned to its normal human form, but was taller than before. The hair is long and draped from the neck to the front of the body. Except for the head, chest, and palms, it is covered with red hair, representing the primitive and wild state of Sion. The eye sockets are red, the eyelids are red, but the eyes are blue like Super Sion, which looks quite domineering. Finally, Son Goku evolved to Super Sion 4. In fact, strictly speaking, Super Sion 4 does not actually belong to the transformation of the Super Sion series. It should be more accurately called Ape Transformed Sion. It is not actually a transformation form, but an evolutionary form. It is an ultimate evolutionary form after the original bloodline of Sion itself returns to its ancestral form. Therefore, Super Sion 4 can be considered as the normal state after evolution. Because of this, Super Sion's ability to control the 4 pairs of ki is even better than in the Super Blue state, and the power is controlled very well, which can prevent the impact force and ki blast in battle from causing greater damage to the surrounding objects. Although Son Wufi did not become a Super Sion god, nor did he further reach the Super Blue state, he was very clear that the power consumption in the Super Blue state was quite huge. Once too much power is consumed, the Super Blue state cannot be maintained. But Super Sion 4 is different. This normal state after evolution puts very little burden on the body, Sun Wuofei can clearly feel that his physical strength and energy are almost not consumed. It seems that my choice is right. First evolve into a special state of Super Saiyan 4, and then break through to the Super Saiyan God state. I will definitely be able to gain more powerful power. A look of joy appeared on Sun Wuofei's face, and his body landed on a half-tilted building. Mr. Wuofei? Is that you? Trunks' eyes widened. It was the first time for him to see such a transformation. He could feel an extremely huge pressure from Son Goku, which was even higher than Son Goku and Vegeta's super blue state. What kind of transformation is this? Of course it's me. Sun Wuofei laughed. Hey, are you surprised? Goku, Vegeta, in fact, if you practice in the right way, you can also reach this state, Super Saiyan 4, or the Ape Saiyan state. Super Saiyan 4, Ape Saiyan state. Son Goku was confused. What is that? I don't understand. To put it simply, Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan God and the higher blue God form are all transformed states of Saiyan, while Super Saiyan 4 is not a transformation, but an evolution. Atavistic evolution. This is an evolutionary state that has power comparable to Super Blue and higher defense, but consumes very little physical strength and power. Son Goku and Vegeta's eyes widened at what he said. They never dreamed that Saiyan could evolve in addition to further transformation. Super Saiyan 4, what evolution? Stop talking nonsense here. No matter what you become, you will die in my hands today. Chapter 199. Listening to the conversation between Son Goku, Vegeta, and Sun Wuofei, Black Goku showed a ferocious look on his face. He rushed towards Sun Wuofei and slashed at him with the air blade in his hand. Abu! Sun Wuofei stretched out his right index finger and easily blocked Black Goku's air blade. The air blade that could hurt Vegeta couldn't even break the defense of Sun Goku's index finger. This is impossible. Black Goku was shocked and attacked with all his strength. His air blades stabbed towards Sun Goku like a violent storm, but Sun Goku dodged them easily without any success. Moreover, Sun Goku had basically no loss of strength and stamina, but Black Goku began to pant. How is it possible? Black Goku stopped, his face full of disbelief and horror. Have you had enough? If you have, it's my turn. Sun Wuofei grinned, and swung the tail behind him violently, hitting Black Goku hard. Directly knocked Black Goku away. Boom boom boom. All the buildings along the road were smashed to pieces, and a deep gully was plowed out on the ground in the distance. Everyone looked stunned, looking at the long gully, then looked back at Sun Wuofei and swallowed involuntarily. Too strong. Trunks' throat felt dry. After seeing Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan Blue state, he thought that was extremely powerful, but he didn't expect that Goku's Super Saiyan 4 was so much stronger than the two Super Saiyan Blue. Is this the power of Super Saiyan 4? So powerful. Son Goku stared at Son Goku blankly. You said you are my brother, is that true? Of course it's true. Son Wuofei smiled and returned to his normal state. It's really exactly the same, but the breath is different. Son Goku swallowed. In the world you live in, what am I like? Am I awesome? Well, how do you say this? Son Goku thought about it. In terms of strength, the Son Goku from his world is about the same as the Son Goku from the main Dragon Ball universe, but the timeline is several years earlier. Strictly speaking, the Son Goku from his world should be stronger at the same time. I see, I really want to go and see it if I have the chance. You said your name is Sun Wuofei, right? Vegeta looked at Son Goku and asked in a deep voice, you just said that we can also become Super Saiyan 4. It's not transformation, it's evolution. Son Wuofei nodded and said, as long as you practice hard, you should be able to evolve. After you resolve the issues here, can you come to our world and explain it to us? Vegeta asked urgently. Son Wuofei hesitated. Wouldn't this mean he would have to meet gods of destruction Beerus? Would that guy suddenly go crazy and destroy himself, the one who disturbed time and space? Although Son Wuofei doesn't think that his current strength is weaker than gods of destruction Beerus, if a fight really breaks out, Angel Whis will definitely not stand idly by. Wouldn't that be troublesome? Buzz. As Son Wuofei hesitated, a powerful Kamehameha wave shot out from the ruins in the distance and blasted straight towards him. Snort. Son Wuofei instantly transformed into Super Saiyan 4, stretched out his hand towards the Kamehameha wave, a flash of lightning flashed in his eyes, and suddenly a lightning spear-like air needle shot out from his palm, directly piercing the Kamehameha wave and eliminating it into nothingness. I told you, this is Son Goku's body, you can't completely control it. Sun Wufei said, his hands formed into a calyx shape, and he made the starting position of the Kamehameha wave. This farce should end. Lonesome waves. A Kamehameha wave that was much larger than Black Goku's Kamehameha wave shot out from Son Goku's hand and instantly hit Black Goku. Not good. Black Goku was very anxious and yelled at Zamasu, "Quick, use the last resort. Quick!" Zamasu was stunned, then immediately took off the Batra earring on his left ear and put it on his right ear. A blinding light shone from Black Goku and Zamasu, and their bodies were rapidly attracted to each other. Not good. Sun Wufei was startled, and quickly controlled the Kamehameha wave to blast towards the center of the collision between the two people. Boom! A huge explosion arose, accompanied by a thunderous cloud of dust. Sun Wufei's face showed a solemn expression, "This is bad." Swish! A figure flew out from the smoke and landed gently on the ground. You must be happy to see this figure, human. The only god in the entire universe, Zamasu, is born. Black Goku and Zamasu merged with the Batra earrings. After the fusion, Zamasu has the characteristics of Black Goku and Zamasu in this future time and space, and his strength is greatly improved. The most important thing is, this guy has become immortal. This state. We have also experienced it. Vegeta, do you remember? Son Goku's face darkened, and he felt an extremely strong pressure. You mean Vegeta? Vegeta suddenly realized that they used those earrings to fuse together. Trouble. Son Goku and Vegeta have had the experience of fusion. The Vegeta formed by their fusion is far superior to the Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku at the time in the Super Saiyan 1 state, and can beat Gohan Buu. It can be said that the combination of Batra earrings increases strength exponentially. By the same principle, after Black Goku and Zamasu merge, they will definitely become extremely powerful. Brother, let us help you. Son Goku is obviously not used to calling Sun Wufei brother, but he does not reject having such a powerful brother. He is even a little envious of himself in the parallel universe. Yet, Sun Wufei, if we work together, we might be able to win. Vegeta also spoke up and praised. As a Saiyan prince, he has always been arrogant, but now facing the combined Zamasu, Vegeta is unsure. Vegeta, I'm still more used to you calling me Castle, hey. Sun Wufei grinned at the two of them, okay, don't worry, I can handle this guy, boom. A powerful flame surged out from Sun Wufei's body and burned fiercely on the surface of his body. Exploded. The golden flames were burning fiercely, the temperature was probably over 1,000 degrees, ordinary people would be burned to death if they got close. Fused Zamasu? Hey, I really want to see your current strength. I hope you won't let me down. Leaning forward slightly, Sun Wufei assumed an attacking posture, and the next moment, he rushed forward. Chapter 200. Hey! The combined Zamasu grinned fiercely, stretched out his palm, and an invisible force acted on Sun Wufei's palm, trying to deflect his fist and his entire body. The power of God? Humph! The immortal power after fusion in Sun Wufei's body shook, immediately dispersing the power of the combined Zamasu. He then performed a 360-degree side kick, kicking Zamasu hard on the shoulder and sending him flying. How could it be? Steadying himself, Zamasu showed a look of shock on his face. He had used the Batra earrings to merge, so he should have gained unparalleled power. Why? Why was he hit by Sun Wufei? Sun Wufei did not answer the question of the fused Zamasu. He followed closely and threw a dragon fang punch directly to the face, clean and neat. The combined Zamasu was hit again, and his body drew a huge arc and flew up into the sky. Sun Wufei followed closely and kicked it down from the sky, smashing it directly into the ground. Then an energy bomb was thrown out from his hand and hit the place where the combined Zamasu landed. Boom! The explosion occurred underground, and the entire ground swelled up like a ball, then disintegrated into wisps of dust. The combined Zamasu lost his shadow. Come out, I know you won't die so easily. Sun Wukong landed on the ground and shouted into the ground, sensing the aura of the combined Zamasu. At this moment, a pair of hands suddenly stretched out from the ground and grabbed Sun Wufei's ankle. It's the combined Zamasu. Haha! You've been fooled. The combined Zamasu yelled and was about to throw Sun Wufei to the ground. As a result, a sharp pain suddenly came from the palms of my hands, and then I felt a chill in my wrists. On Sun Wufei's right palm, a sword of energy appeared, just like he had just done. That was a sword made entirely of immortal power, and it directly cut off his hands. Not only that, the golden flames burning around Sun Wufei burned the severed hands of the combined Zamasu into nothingness. But, damn it! The immortal body took effect, and the severed hands of the combined Zamasu were instantly restored, but his face became unusually ferocious. It's not over yet. Sun Wufei sneered and stabbed Zamasu's body with the chi sword in his right hand, leaving him with thousands of holes. Although he cannot die due to his immortal body, it is not easy for him to recover. Sun Wufei's attack speed was too fast, and the wounds he inflicted were too fast, exceeding the speed of recovery. Damn it! The combined Zamasu roared, but was kicked away by Sun Wufei. Steadying his body in mid-air, the combined Zamasu finally had a chance to recover from his injuries, but the anger in his heart had reached its peak. It cannot be tolerated. It absolutely cannot be tolerated. The combined Zamasu raised his right hand, and a square piece of caution steel appeared above his palm. This is the hardest metal in the universe, said to be indestructible. Resisting God is a sin in itself. The combined Zamasu roared, and with a sudden swing of his right hand, he shot the caution steel towards Sun Wufei. Go to hell, human! Snort! Sun Wufei snorted coldly, his figure flashed, and he disappeared in an instant, moving sideways 2 meters. The Qasim steel fell heavily to the ground, but did not hit him. It's instant transmission. Take this. I'm going to use this move to completely destroy you. Sun Wufei placed his hands on his waist in the shape of a calyx, and a large amount of immortal power gathered in his palms. 4. Above the sky, a look of madness appeared on the face of the combined Zamasu, and caution steel appeared around him one after another, constantly smashing down towards Sun Wukong. Swish, swish, swish. Dab, Sun Wufei kept dodging with instant transmission. None of the Qasim steel hit him. He dodged them all. The Kamehameha wave formed by the power of immortals blasted out from Sun Gofei's hand, and the next moment, it had traveled through time and space and hit the combined Zamasu hard. In this move, Sun Wufei not only condensed the power of the thunder and fire laws, but also the power of time. The condensed immortal power naturally also has the attributes of the time law. He simply stopped the passing time and appeared in front of the combined Zamasu like a ghost. How could it be? Wow! With a scream, the combined Zamasu was hit hard by the ultimate Kamehameha. His whole body was trapped in the destructive energy of the ultimate Kamehameha wave and began to break apart piece by piece. Impossible! I am immortal, how could I die at the hands of a lowly mortal? The combined Zamasu screamed unwillingly, and the Batra earrings on his ears could no longer withstand the erosion of the destructive force, and the Vitabo shattered. The fusion that could have been maintained for an hour also began to disintegrate under the powerful force of the ultimate Kamehameha wave. However, the combined Zamasu did not completely separate into 2 people, but instead each split into half of its body, which kept disappearing and regenerating in the ultimate Kamehameha wave. This is a special ability of the immortal body. If he wasn't immortal, he would have been killed by Sun Wufei long ago. A whole scion. The combined Zamasu went completely crazy, and a ferocious look appeared on his face as his body, which had been split into 2 halves connected by disgusting mucus, appeared on his face at the same time. A black vortex suddenly formed next to the combined Zamasu, appearing in the destructive power of the final Kamehameha wave. Swish! The combined Zamasu suddenly dived into the black vortex and disappeared. What? At the same time, the same black vortex appeared behind Sun Gofei, and the combined Zamasu emerged from it and punched Sun Gofei on the back. Wow! Sun Wufei screamed and was knocked away, with blood spurting out of his mouth. This was the first time he was injured after becoming Super Saiyan 4. I said, I am the only god. I will not be defeated. The body of the combined Zamasu has been split into 2 halves, and there are signs of refusion again. What's going on? Once the Batra earrings are separated, they can't be fused again? He can actually resist. Son Goku and Vegeta are shocked. This is probably because they were originally one person, and their souls have already fused in the previous fusion, so their body cells have also shown signs of fusion, resisting the power of the Batra earrings. Supreme Kai Xion's voice rang out behind the group. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.